Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crossover. Starring Josh Johnson and Chris McGill. Featuring Christina Thorson. And of course, you, the Instagram live chat. Now, sit back and enjoy this week's edition of The Crossover. Powered by Card Ladder.
What's up, Josh?
Did you get hair implants?
Yeah, I took them from a lower part of my body.
Oh, God.
Oh, ew.
TMI.
I'm sure you meant your legs, right?
Uh-huh.
His upper legs.
All right. We have a guest joining us for a few minutes in about 5 minutes. So let's try and move quickly because then there are two hot topics on the agenda. One of them being outlooks on the NBA season, which will have started by the next crossover.
Wow.
So let's fire off some takes on the next NBA season. And then we have the backyard breaks topic, which warranted 8 comments/questions. So we'll get to both of those. But first, traditionally, we do mail days and announcements before our guest joins us. So let's do some mail days. I have no mail days. So Josh, the floor is yours. I think you might have a few, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, 2 weeks of no crossover. You know I got a bunch.
Yeah.
I don't have any orders, so I'll just start firing them off.
Let's go.
All right. Prism, Shining Stars, Black Finite, 1 of 1.
Salute.
Salute. This is 2017 gold vinyl.
Oh, you love those.
I think I officially like gold vinyl better than gold.
Yo, that's bad news for basketball guys because we don't get any gold vinyls in Prism.
National Treasure, silver at 25. I already have one of these, but look at that patch.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
This is rookie gold vinyl out of 5.
Love that. I love how the gold vinyl pops on the photo shoot picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The regular gold one, the gold just around the borders. This one, they put the vinyl on the whole thing.
Gorgeous card.
This is 2016 Select, probably Concourse, I don't know. Gold. Another one of these, I have 2 of these now, 2018 gold. 2 of these, 2018 gold vinyl. And then, best one of the bunch, 2018 Black Finite. And then, got this one today. This is a rookie Shield PSA 10.
Whoa. Wow. That thing is shiny.
The foil's kind of interesting.
Man, that's a beauty.
And then my favorite, 2019 gold vinyl optic. I need more of these ones. I like that they're 101s.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Gold vinyl has like this kind of matte look to it, you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, the optical vinyl 1 of 1.
You want your favorite McCaffrey? Other than your new Fournette?
It's my second favorite, but optical vinyl 1 of 1 is like a really special card.
That PSA 10 that you went out of your way to get was your favorite for a while, wasn't it?
It sure was. It sure was. Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay. Congrats. That's a really, really nice haul. What about announcements? Do we have any announcements to make at this time?
Well, we did like a quiet, super early beta launch of our next big release that we can't talk about. But if anyone is like dying to be a part of a fun beta, you should DM one of us.
Yeah. All you beta boys out there, as Nick Adams says, go ahead and hit us up. That would be great. That would probably be really helpful. I mean, everybody's going to be a beta tester after it releases anyway, basically, because we'll be soliciting feedback. But hey, if Josh offers that, and I was one of you guys out there, I'd DM him.
Yeah, because Christina wouldn't have made that offer.
Did you make that offer?
I did not make that offer.
Well, it can only scale as many times as I can answer DM, so we'll be fine.
And he
Except
will,
you
and
answer
he
every
will
single
answer
one.
all of them. That's right. He absolutely, or he'll at least look at it.
I was gone for 2 days, and Christina sent me like 7 emails of customers, and I had to get through. I had to power through them today. Boom, answer all the questions, all the customer feedback.
Yeah, I know you did, man. I know you did. Oh my God, I can just picture how that went right now. Christina, do you know if our guest is ready to join yet, by chance?
Our guest was going to message you at 11:15, like you told me to tell him to message you. So you have 7 minutes.
You mean request to join?
Yeah.
Okay, all
You
right.
have 7 minutes to kill.
No, 7 minutes is plenty of time to kill. Okay.
6 minutes.
Let's go with this question first, all right? Because our friend Mohammed, oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Guest has requested. Let's bring him in.
Awesome.
Oh no, he declined. Request again, man, if you don't mind. There we go. Boom. Accepted. Let's see if we can get it on the second try.
Boom.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
What's up, Jason? How are you?
Chris, Josh, pleasure to meet you guys.
what's up,
Yeah,
Jason?
I requested to join, and then you started like moving into your next segment, so I just declined, and then you brought me back on. So anyway, I appreciate it.
Jason, very happy to have you, man. So first of all, you're here on behalf of a Reebok and Panini collab involving Allen Iverson. Maybe give us like 30 seconds on it, just real briefly what's going on.
Yeah, quick spiel, and thanks again for having me. I'm a longtime listener. Actually, I think this is probably the first time that I'm listening live. So it's just funny that I'm on it. I'm on the East Coast, so it's kind of like New Year's Eve over here, staying up till midnight. But anyway, yeah, appreciate the opportunity. So yeah, I work for Reebok, been with the brand for a few years now. And this past last week, we announced formally our upcoming collaboration with Panini, which is really exciting. I'm a sports card collector. I got back into the hobby after a decade off in 2020. And I've gone through the waves over the past couple of years, and it's made me realize more and more that I am indeed a collector. So being at Reebok and seeing Panini on a deck in a PowerPoint back in late 2020, I got really excited. So fast forward to a week ago, as I alluded to, we announced our collaboration with them on an Allen Iverson line of sneakers, specifically his 1996 rookie shoe. So it's essentially taken Prism off the cardboard and into the sneaker world, which is really cool. But also as a card collector, it's something that's really interesting. Just because, we love to collect, we love to see our world expand into other places. And when something as authentic as Allen Iverson comes from sneakers and carries Reebok over, it's really just cool to see those like two different markets collide. So I think, whether you're a card collector or sneaker person, it's maybe it's not for you, maybe it is, but it's got something in it for somebody. And that's what has me really excited. So there's 3 different Prism inspired question models. We got a Tiger Prism question, a blue rookie signature parallel, and then a black Pulsar, which is hyper limited. 2 out of every 3 pairs will come with a pack of limited edition trading cards with the opportunity to land some really nice hits. There's a pretty cool autograph checklist that we worked on, some player worn patches. All the autos are on card, which is great. And some nice patch autos, and then some serial numbered foils based on, or parallel foils based on which shoe you buy. So that's the spiel. It drops November 4th. Really appreciate just having the platform to come on and talk about that on behalf of both Panini and Reebok. But more importantly, really excited to just meet you guys in person as a collector. I mean, there's so many people in the chat and that you guys interact with on a daily basis that deserve to be here and have the time to talk to you. So you bringing us on is really meaningful. And I just want to say thank you again and allowing me to do my spiel.
Yeah, sure, man. Thank you. That was compact and nice. And so basically November 4th is the drop. You have 3 Prism-inspired models, the Tiger, the blue, and the black Pulsar.
Yep.
And then you get a pack of cards with it. What's going to be more desired, man? Just being honest. I know you're at Reebok. What's going to be the more in demand? Is it going to be the pack or the shoe?
It depends. I mean, it depends on who you are. For me, I'm more of a card collector than I am a sneakerhead. So I'll be more excited to open a pack and hopefully get something nice. I mean, there's a chance that you'll get, base foils or, a base parallel or a base variation of sorts. But I'll be excited to, I think, to open the pack. I mean, the friends and family program that we did, you guys might have saw it. We made like 100 pairs of this, of basically a prism flip on Allen Iverson's 2007 Denver question colorway. So we put like a blue dazzle prism flip on that and printed some really cool cards. Those are more of like the collector's piece in my eyes from a sneaker standpoint. But I think people will be excited about the cards if you're in the card space that come with the shoes. But I mean, something for everybody. I don't know. Like if you've seen the pictures, the photos of the shoes, really cool how prism was translated onto footwear. I mean, that's what that Allen Iverson shoe does so well, is it takes stories really well as kind of like a representation of his transcendency cross-culturally. But if you look at the pictures there, like I don't know if I could wear them. The Tiger Prism is a little bit more understated with like a white upper, but I think either way the shoes would be on the shelf and the packs would be ripped, and probably putting cards would be in top loaders, and I'd be looking at those.
Nice. Are you guys expecting a secondary market for the packs? Do you foresee that happening?
I mean, you mean like the packs sealed or?
Yep, sealed.
Okay. I think it's going to depend on, if some of the hits end up on social media, right? Like if people start to see some of the hits, like if they all go to, because they're completely randomly distributed, if they all go to, a smaller emerging market, if they go to an emerging market and, evenly distributed, just want to reiterate, if they end up on an emerging market and, people who aren't maybe just people in general around the world who aren't super into social media and you don't see them, then I don't know, it might impact the secondary market. So we'll see, but I think so. There's some really cool chase cards in there, and again with like the on-card autos and player worn material, we couldn't get unfortunately a game worn Allen Iverson jersey that we could cut up and get into the cards that would fit into the distribution timeline, unfortunately, but we did get some nice player worn stuff. So all in all, it's a cool experience. So if people see them, long story short, I think there'll be some secondary play. I hope.
Yeah, I'll be excited to follow those packs. Maybe if Christina's interest is piqued, they'll get maybe a card letter profile to track how those packs are selling.
Maybe a guy that can help get the info over. I was talking to Christina about it and like 2 weeks ago, and she shared her love for sneakers, and that was really nice. So if you guys need any help with that, I'm happy to do so. But we'll see how it goes, I guess, right? It's not it's not gonna be for everyone.
No doubt. Hey Josh, let me pass it to you for a second. Do you have a question for Jason or a comment?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've watched the show, you know how much I love the parallels between shoes and cards. So to kind of see the actual, at the same time is kind of neat. My question was, are you guys planning to do this with other athletes? I know Iverson's with Reebok, so that's obviously an easier one. But do you have any other thoughts on continuing this?
No plans as of right now, Josh. But I think there's always the opportunity. Like those conversations are had. We're already talking about ways in which we can potentially continue it into next year, but it's all kind of up in the air at this point. I think we're going to see how the rollout goes, see how the market responds, and we'll take those learnings. But we're really open-minded about it, and we have a couple avid card collectors that have been working on this project and are in the building and constantly like spreading the word. So I think while there's no plans per se, there's always an opportunity, ideas being thrown around.
So you're saying we've infiltrated Reebok?
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, you're pretty much in the building. Sounds like you've been a fly on the wall. Some of these meetings, maybe.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, that was it. That was my question.
Nice. Okay, Jason, let me wrap it with this, man. Thanks for coming on. Tell us a little bit about yourself as a collector, because I know you collect cards. People can follow your profile, see some of the cards you collected. What's a little bit of your background as a collector? What do you like to collect?
Yeah, I've like kind of a typical, I was collecting as a kid. I was born in 92, collected for about, up until I went to I left for college in 2010, so probably 10 years. Completely forgot about cards, and then got back into the hobby in 2020 when I started to hear things, people talking about it. I was a big, it's kind of funny, Josh, you're collecting girly. I'm a Rams fan, so I was a big Marshall Faulk guy back in the day.
Oh, yes.
So I came back into the hobby in 2020, and I was definitely like, I think for a lot of us, like, oh, I remember liking this, and there's an opportunity to make some money. So I think I came in as more of like an investor, but also feeling a little bit of nostalgia. We talk about it as an escape. Had some other things going on in 2020, so it was really nice to just like take my mind off of stuff. And so yeah, I got back in. Started. I got heavy into Formula One. Was making moves. Just kind of. I'm very like. I'm buying everything under the sun. I have no strategy. I don't really like. I'm not super into modern. But long story short, was into Formula One, got into Formula One all the while collecting TCG and football and stuff like that. And then, as the market's kind of corrected itself, I think I've realized more and more that I'm a collector at heart. I haven't been able to really like get rid of anything that I bought because I don't want to. So now, kind of bringing it full circle, I'm focusing heavy on Marshall Faulk again, like I did back in the day. After like all this, breaking F1, which I love, and doing all this weird stuff that got me back in. I'm back into Marshall Faulk and just like collecting things that like bring me joy because I can't let go of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a weird story, but I think I'll be here forever. I've refound that connection here. I have so many like memories that are jogged about, from back in the day, like collecting and trading with friends before class and in class, and all those feelings that are brought back up feel really good. And with the market coming down and kind of rethinking my strategy, I'm definitely a collector for life. Well, I'll be doing some investing and flipping here and there, but hopefully I can build this Marshall Faulk set out.
Let's go. Hey, Marshall Faulk, that's one of the all-time greats of the position, man.
Hard to find.
I bet. Okay, Jason, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck with this drop. We'll be following it closely, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thank you, Christina, for setting it up.
Come show your face.
I know you don't like coming on the screen. I know you don't.
That's because I'm actually working, unlike all of you. What's up?
I know you're hitting the keyboard in the background. I appreciate it. Thanks again for the opportunity. Good to see you.
All right.
Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Jason.
Do you kick me off?
Yeah, I'm kicking you right now. See
All right.
you, man. Follow him on Instagram, 41K Gold.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See you, buddy. Okay, great guest. Very exciting. Prism and Reebok collab. All right. And as I glance at my screen, I see the Nuggets are taking care of the Warriors. That makes me happy too. All right. Let's go. Lots of topics to get to today, Josh.
Yes.
We're going to go in this order. We're going to do NBA, and then we're going to do the backyard breaks thing. The backyard breaks thing is kind of beat to death. Or would you like to do the backyard breaks first? Do you want
I would like to. I think people are here waiting for that one first.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Josh, the whole point is to let them wait so that like they continue to watch the show.
Well, not really. I think the NBA content is going to be a lot better than this content. So
yeah, just the NBA will like.
Bait and switch, guys. It's called bait and switch.
yeah, let's not advocate for it. Go back to work.
The NBA will like branch off into other topics. This one's gonna die quick.
I think it is. I do think it is. But a lot has already been said about this. But all right, here I'm just going to do a comment dump, and then we can react. Major Sports Cards says, let's discuss backyard breaks, loaded boxes. Card Shop Dad, question MVP of the week, says backyard breaks, one of ones galore. MJ23 KB24 card says, kind of have to touch on the backyard BS now, don't you? The noise is getting louder. Chris Cards KC says, let's discuss the mathematical probability, and everybody just went to bed, of hitting product chases in multiple products. WTF Frankie podcast says, the wild improbable odds of a breaker finding all the big basketball one-of-ones. Leather Helmet Card says, new allegations about backyard breaks having loaded boxes and the data that has supported this claim. Jay Lee Sports Card says, how many people do you think are asking for the Backyard Breaks / Panini Twitter math scandal? And Mike Pinkerton 50 says, do you think there's a conspiracy with Backyard Breaks? It is mathematically impossible.
Oh, I want to get into the math one so quickly because I have a lot to say about that.
Wow. Okay, let's go. Let's start with the math.
It's not going to be what people think. They're going to be disappointed that I'm not piling on. But isn't it?
Oh no.
So here's the thing. It's mathematically very difficult to hit those 4 specific cards, right?
Very difficult.
But wouldn't you say that about every combination of cards that anyone could hit? Like if someone else pulled a 1-of-1 football player, it's like, oh, I can't. It's impossible you hit that. It's 1 in 50,000. But someone has to hit it. Someone's got to hit those cards. They didn't pull the Jalen Green Logo Man auto or the black. Did they pull the Trevor Lawrence Shield auto 1-of-1? Did they pull the black Justin Herbert?
They did pull a Trevor Lawrence Kaboom Gold.
But it's like I'm just saying, like they hit those 4. Sure, the odds of one person hitting those specific 4 is very, very low. The odds of anyone hitting 4 specific cards is very low, right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, yeah, it's really improbable. But like, I don't know. I guess I thought about it a lot. I wish those cards would get spread out more. But I'm not seeing the scenario where like Panini is like purposely holding back. What's in it for them to like risk their entire company on this,
Yeah, I hear you, man. Also, it's not really Panini's call because I believe most of BYB's product is purchased on the secondary market or via distributors. So it'd be tough for Panini to make the call to direct the best hits and the best products to Backyard Breaks. But can we agree that it's a bad look? No matter how we got to it, the optics of it suck. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Well, that's what I said. I would prefer that these get spread around more, right? I don't really want one breaker hitting all the best cards, because then you're just gonna have a monopoly where you're just gonna like have this snowball effect where now everyone's gonna want to go break with them, and it's gonna take away business from other breakers. And I don't think that's really great. So that's kind of the frustrating part. I wish the luck was a little bit more even here. I mean, did someone go into? I haven't read enough about it, but like, has anyone gone into how much they're opening?
No. So that's my critique, Josh, of the math, is that the math is correct. And perhaps the math was even done like the math that Eric Whiteback did. Maybe it was even conservative, given that, for example, the odds of hitting like a Prism Black extend to Prism Hobby boxes, not just First Off the Line boxes. So the math was conservative, and the math was correct, but it was incomplete. The math fails to take into account the relevant sample. So, if we're only hyper-focusing on the products that produce the big hits that by all accounts disproportionately were distributed to Backyard, it looks optics-wise, even if there was no foul play, it looks really bad for everybody. But the relevant sample has to be expanded to look at every product that they've opened, not just the products that yielded the big hits. And so to give this example by way of analogy, in the stock market, there's the concept of survivorship bias, which is the idea that somebody might generalize about the stock market and say, oh, the S&P 500 is up 400% over the last 30 years. Therefore, the stock market is up over the last 30 years. It's not, that's not correct. The S&P 500 is a revolving sample of only large cap, high performing stocks. The majority of stocks, their value goes to zero and they are removed from the exchanges. And if they ever made it to a key index, they're removed. Survivorship bias means we only look at the winners and we don't look at all the losers which can make up an outsized proportion of the total sample. So applying survivorship bias to this backyard breaks and panini scenario, we have to say, in order for the analysis to be complete, what is the total sample of products that backyard breaks got? What's the total number of big ticket hits that they got? And does that align or not align with mathematical probability? That, and I don't know what that study would show. I don't know what that would reveal if somebody actually did it. Maybe it would be more damning, maybe less. I don't know. But that's the right research question.
You want to know the best thing that's ever happened to backyard breaks?
This?
The rumor that they're getting unfair treatment.
Right. Yeah, it's like if somebody told you, hey, the government is funneling all of the winning lottery tickets to this gas station on the corner, there would be a line out the door at that gas station.
Do you know what I mean, though, about the math? Like, it's really easy for us to pick that example and say, the odds of these 4 cards, but other breakers pull 4 different cards that we could give the same math to, right? Like, if any breaker pulls 4 1-on-1s, I could just say the odds of that breaker pulling those 4 1-on-1s is 1 in 200,000. Correct. But, like, I guess the argument is just, are these like the 4 top cards? Is that what we're saying? These are like the 4 best cards to come out of the whole year?
Yeah. I mean, some might dispute that and say maybe Scotty Barnes is a slightly better hit than Cade or something. But the gist of it is that, like, the big, flashy hits, have disproportionately accumulated to backyard breaks. And with respect to those products, that is accurate. Now to go from saying that disproportionate allocation of hits that's statistically improbable to one breaker means that foul play was involved, that logical chain needs a few more links in it. You need to establish, what's the motive, and there may be motive, and if there is motive, then how did it happen? And so, like, rightfully, several people pointed out the McDonald's monopoly scandal that was featured in a documentary, and has had pieces written about it. And basically, the gist of it was this: a former police officer who was employed to work on ensuring that employees who were working on this Monopoly game didn't take the winning tickets, or there was no funny business involved in distributing the winning pull-offs on the fries and the drinks. The guy who was responsible for watching them actually ended up getting involved in the funny business and redirecting the winning tickets to friends and family of his, who then split their winnings with him. So it's not like this is impossible. It is a conspiracy theory by definition, but it does happen. It has happened before. So we have to take it seriously. We can't just like scoff at it. We have to take it seriously. But then, we have to think about it more critically. And, to me, man, in order for this analysis to be complete, for the people who really care about it, we have to go in and we have to do a holistic analysis.
Didn't Platinum used to get all the hits, and then Leighton used to get all the hits, and now, so if you want to find the conspiracy, it's that they're moving from the most popular to the next most popular, like whoever's the current most popular, or it's the people that are opening the most boxes at the time, right?
Yes indeed. But yeah, I mean, look, is there fire or not? We don't know, but there is smoke. We can say that there is smoke. We don't know if there's fire yet, but and we might never know. There is smoke, though.
So for this to be true, though, it couldn't have gone through the normal distribution, right? Like Panini would have had to hold it back, or given it directly to some distributor they knew was going to send it straight to, or something like that. Is that what we're saying? Exactly.
I guess, like, the simplest conspiracy that I could think of is that foul play is happening at the manufacturer level. Somehow somebody discovers what cards are being packed out into which product, and then they use that information to their own advantage by finding ways to redirect it to distributors who would also be in on it with them, And then
what do they get out of that? I don't like what would Panini gain from one person opening all the same? I don't understand that.
Well, Panini, nothing. Like, to me, the simplest conspiracy theory here is that there's a bad actor on the inside that others that the entity that the people don't know about. Kind of very similar to that McDonald's scandal, where like it was a bad apple who was actually entrusted to be responsible for overseeing things.
Can I ask a question that might sound like really stupid, but like is plaguing me in this hypothetical conspiracy theory? And believe me, Christina loves conspiracies. But like, if you are a breaker and you know that you're getting these like rigged boxes, why are you selling spots at the same price like as everyone else instead
You're
of
saying if they knew they had $1 million card,
yeah.
it seems
One,
yeah.
like, do we really believe that Backyard Breaks isn't going to just open that box themselves and like sell that card like at an auction house and not release that they were the ones who sold it?
Right.
Like the same people who during a giveaway were like, JK, that's too expensive of a card. Like, we really think that these people are going to say, yes.
If you keep going, you're gonna have to come on camera.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Just
People don't want to look at the half of my face looking at you.
well, then look straight at Josh and look at his face while I break
All right,
down.
Christina's introduced some good points here as well. Where do we go next, Josh? What's left to say about it?
This is why I got so mad at those kids for that whole Trevor Lawrence Kaboom debacle, is because like they gain almost nothing by pulling down this one card, and they gain a lot by doing something positive for the hobby, growing their community, continuing to open, because their constant revenue stream is from opening more and more wax, right? It's not from like pulling this one hit for themselves and screwing anybody in a deal. It's the same thing here. If they're getting these big hits, their incentive would not be to keep any of them or to make any trouble for themselves on some of these hits and some of this drama. It's to continue to build their excitement and open more wax consistently going forward. Now, obviously, if they're going to be opening all these monster one-of-ones, that's going to help that. So that would kind of be the issue. But wouldn't Panini, like if I was a Panini person, the best case scenario for me would be to have all the customers out there thinking that they can be the one to get the hit. And so I would want to spread it as much as humanly possible. I would want it to go to random every single time, so that everyone feels like I can jump in on this gamble. Anyone has a chance. If everyone knows it's only going to one thing, you're more likely to lose people, right?
Okay, this is a take that I want to explore for just a second. The real conspiracy of all conspiracies is if Panini actually never had the same breaker show up with multiple big hits, but instead the distribution was perfectly even, that would be the smoke, because that is even less statistically probable.
No, the real conspiracy here is Panini never puts those like big hits in their boxes or holds the boxes with the big hits in their back room locker, so that you're always chasing the one-of-one Luca from prison.
That's what I was just gonna say. This is where she goes.
This is why those boxes are still so expensive.
Okay, this is where
so if you're a breaker, you don't want to hit those one-of-ones.
Ah, that's a good point too. Okay, so Mike Pinkerton says I should just hold up a picture of you when you're talking. So if you want to give me a picture, I can just put it right here. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's been a day of math and statistics.
Well, cherry pick statistics, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Interesting. This unfolded in an interesting way. I was thinking about this topic today too, because I had messages come in to me saying that this scandal is proof that the hobby is on its last leg and is going to perish. And,
wasn't it moving over to Fanatics anyways?
Like,
So
boys, like who were these people? Let's name some names.
I know I would never violate the privacy and discretion of a personal DM, but
Unlike some people.
what I will say is that the guy said like he was glad he sold his card 10 months ago, and that this was proof, above all, that this industry is crashing because of scandals and corruption like this.
Exactly. People who cashed out and didn't believe in something in the beginning are always.
Hey, look, I have to say, look, if you're gonna have this many comments, you have to come on the camera.
Are you gonna work with them while I'm on the camera?
No.
Exactly.
All right, Josh, do you want to put a ribbon on this?
I do not.
You do not. All right. No. All right. Let's go. Let's move on to NBA talk. Okay. Mostly 90s basketball cards has NBA preview questions for us. Wait, save that scowl. This is not the question. It's a different one. First, all right, so he has 5 questions. Let's go one at a time. First question is, give one surprise team.
Well, I just listened to like the 3-part Simmons solo breakdown, so I'm trying not to just like steal theirs, but it's gonna be tough. And their sort of favorite dark horses, as they've convinced me, it's the Raptors. They kind of went under the radar last year. They actually had a really good year last year. They put up a pretty decent fight against the Sixers, and I think Scotty Barnes is going to be better. I like Siakam. I think the Raptors are going to give teams a lot of trouble.
Okay. Raptors it is for Josh. I'm going with the Orlando Magic.
Ooh, that's Rosillo's.
Oh, damn. He probably did say them too. Well, all right. Let me just keep it short and sweet. I think that they have this 3-headed, 6'10" monster of Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, and Paolo Banchero that is going to be very difficult to contend with defensively. These guys are like setting pick and rolls for each other. Carter is setting picks for Banchero and Wagner, and these guys literally just like, they can hold the ball over their head and throw it back and forth to each other until they just make their way to the basket. And it's tough to defend. So they look really tough. I also had the privilege of seeing this team in person. They look good. Mo Bamba is good. Bol is good. Cole Anthony is good.
Well, they're huge. Their team is gigantic.
Yes, they are. So, all right. 2. Which team is most likely to beat your favorite team in the playoffs?
So I'm supposed to guess the seedings?
Here's how I took it. What's the team that will piss me off the most?
A bad matchup?
If and when they do meet my team, sure.
So we're talking about the Suns and the bad matchup? I mean, the Mavs are apparently a bad matchup for the Suns, so I'll just say that again.
Fair. I'm going to go with the Clippers. Have seen my
we're just picking teams that have beat us in the past.
Yeah. I already know the pain of losing to that stupid team, so all right.
They got John Wall now, so you're really screwed. That dude he's primed and ready. He has been resting for years in anticipation. I'm going to be surprised if he even remembers how to dribble on the opening night. Like, he's going to just start traveling all over the place.
All right. Which trade works out the best this season? Rudy Gobert in Minnesota, DeJounte Murray in Atlanta, or Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland?
I'll say Donovan Mitchell. I think he fits on that team really well. The Gobert one, it's going to be a little awkward to me with Cat and Edwards already there. I mean, he'll be a decent fit on that, front that those two are more offensive players. He's more defensive. But I just like the way Mitchell's going to fit in. He's not really my favorite player of all time, but I think he's going to be a good fit. I don't really see the DeJounte Murray, Trae Young experiment working out well, but I could be wrong.
Shocking to hear you say that.
Let's take 2 point guards. What are they going to do?
I didn't realize Atlanta lost Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter as well. I think low-key he was like one of their 3 best offensive players, and now he's in Sacramento. Not a bad dark horse team either to pick, by the way, Sacramento. I'm going to go with Gobert in Minnesota because I think Gobert is just that good.
That was the Bill Simmons called that the worst trade maybe of all time. But then on
They're
the
walking
podcast,
it back.
they're walking it back in the sense that like it's going to be good this year because they have Gobert and their team is better.
Yeah, they just hate trades where you give up a bunch of draft capital.
Yeah, they were talking about because the Lakers have a 2027, 2029 unprotected first they could trade that people are going to really want because the Lakers are going to be terrible those seasons. And they're like, no, don't do it. Don't trade those picks for, whoever. And it's like, until they make the trade for a guy and then they start making noise, then all of a sudden they're going to like the trade. And then they'll walk it back in 5 years and be like, see, they shouldn't have done it.
Well, here's the thing. All right. Would you rather have 10 years worth of first-round picks or one championship over that 10-year span? You can't have both.
They're talking about this Anthony Davis trade like it was bad. And I'm like, did you guys forget they won the championship with Anthony Davis? That was a great trade. And the Pelicans haven't gotten past the first round since that trade. Who did it work out for better?
Exactly. That's how I feel too. Now, look, maybe if somebody came along and said, well, I'd rather be like a top 5 seed for 7 of the 10 years and be competitive but never win.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying that's all right, but I'm just saying.
I'd rather be the Raptors. I'd rather be the Raptors where you sell out everything. I'd rather be the Rams. You sell out everything to win a championship, and then you go through a few down years. I'd rather have that.
Yeah. And, the thing that's shitty, which, like, the Rams are experiencing right now, is after you win a championship, everybody's so ready to hate you. And
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shitting all over the Rams. Like, they suck. It's like, they just won the Super Bowl. God damn.
Dude, and, all right. Question 4. Christina, as a season ticket holder, which opposing player are you most excited to see in person?
Jalen Brunson.
Hey, look, she could have gone with like a PC player like Jokic or something like that and had a positive answer, but she went straight for the negative. She wants to hate on Jalen Brunson when he comes to town. Let's go.
Yep.
Opposing player. Let me think about that one. Do you have one?
Jokic, man. That's a true.
No, you got to give a more entertaining answer than that. Come on. Dig a little deeper.
Who's somebody? I like when Phoenix will come to town because Josh will be coming to town.
Let's just plan that right now. Like literally, when this gets off, let me know the dates and I'll just come out.
Let's just do it live. Maverick schedule. When do the Suns come to town? And you're sticking with Jalen Brunson because you're ready to root against Jalen, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's only one game a year. That's one game a year.
But Julius Randle's son had like a crying fit, and his mother posted it after the Knicks lost a preseason game. And she was like trying to tell him, like, the kid's like 4, and she's like trying to tell him, like, oh, it's just preseason, and he's like screaming, like, it doesn't matter, it's preseason, like they lost. And I was like, you better buy some stock and some tissues because that team sucks.
Okay, all right. Phoenix has only one. Dallas plays Phoenix 3 times. 2 are in Phoenix, 1 is in Dallas. The game in Dallas is Monday, December 5th.
Bingo.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Mohammed just tied me and brought it into the chat. So thank you, Mohammed.
All right, I got my answer.
All right, what's your answer?
Really gonna twist the knife on you a little bit. Ja Morant. I want to see him play live.
I'd like to see him play live too.
I think I want to see what all the fuss is about.
I mean, I'm sure he's spectacular in person. Look, Cooper Kupp is like.
Next Saturday, so.
Cooper Kupp is catching some hate in the chat. And can I just address this really quick? All right, look.
What?
I know you love Justin Jefferson, but I'm going to use Jefferson as a comparison here.
Oh, you better be careful.
No, I have to do this.
You best be careful.
Kupp and Jefferson have each played 22 games last year and this year combined. Now, granted, Jefferson is only 23 and Kupp is 29, but they both play the same amount of games. Kupp has 2,474 receiving yards. Jefferson has 2,163. And that's actually the closest Jefferson is to him in any major statistical category. Receptions, Kupp has 194 to Jefferson's 148. That's a landslide. And then in receiving touchdowns, this is the biggest gap percentage-wise. Kupp has 20, Jefferson has 12. Cooper Kupp is by far the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he has been now for 2 years running.
Like I skip targets.
Targets, Kupp has 255, Jefferson has 222.
I wonder if you get more stats when you have more targets. Do you think that's a possibility?
I wonder if you get more targets when you're a better receiver.
How come Jefferson has a better average?
Because he has more yards and less catches.
Yeah, because he gets further along when he catches it.
How come Kupp has almost twice as many touchdowns?
Here, I'll end this.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. What's the answer to that one?
How come what?
Why does Kupp have almost twice as many touchdowns?
He doesn't have twice as many. He has 20 to 12.
Almost, I said.
Because they have Adam Thielen, who's their main red zone target.
Indeed. Yes, how do you end it?
Jefferson has the ball thrown to him by Kirk Cousins. Still putting up monster numbers.
Okay.
Even has an injured quarterback. Yeah. Matt Stafford has a wobbly elbow this season.
Well, Matt Stafford's a pretty darn good quarterback.
I'm just saying he might not be throwing it as much.
So is Kirk Cousins. If we're gonna go there, Kirk Cousins. Where's my boy Sal then? Tell us about Kirk Cousins, Sal. Okay. So one more question left on the NBA topic. Who is your finals matchup prediction and your world champion?
I hate this question. Can I be honest with you? I hate this question. It's way too early for that.
There's no downside to this. Everybody's going to be wrong, so just on the off chance that you're right, you look like a genius.
No, I just don't know enough. Like, because when we made these picks 2 years ago, we made the picks deep in the season, and I picked the Bucks, and then next year, I don't remember what I picked last year, but I feel more comfortable picking later in the year. I want to see teams because there's so many players moving teams, and there's new things happening. I just don't know anything. I'll throw you a bone. I'll say Nuggets and Bucks.
Damn, you took half of mine. I got the 76ers coming out of the East. I think they are the most talented roster in the East at full health, and which is a big caveat there. If you really think about it, health, that's everything. You have to be a good enough team to get to that point. But, you have the Bucks Celtics in round 2 of the Eastern Conference last year. If Chris Middleton isn't hurt, maybe that series goes differently. You have the Heat Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Injuries were plaguing the Heat, still went 7. And then in the finals, Tatum is suffering from a pretty debilitating injury that, I don't know if Tatum being healthy would have really would have swung it. But when you go back and look, it's just injuries are really pretty darn key. Out of the West, since you already took Denver, that was going to be my pick because I love the Denver-Philly matchup. And I think Denver's got a decent chance. Coming out of the West, then I will take the Clippers, who are just loaded with veteran talent. And they're a pretty darn scary team.
No, it's going to be the Mavs all the way. I don't care who comes out of the East. The Mavs are winning the championship this year.
You're banking on two things that never happen. One, Harden being good in the playoffs, and two, the Clippers being healthy. Like, those have to happen, and they never happen.
Fair. Very fair.
I like the Nuggets because
I don't think Harden's going to last the entire season of the 76ers.
Okay. Why do you like the Nuggets? Feed me.
I really like the KCP and Bruce Bowen additions. And they're adding Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. They added 4 starters from a team that, was pretty good last year. They added 4 starters, basically. 4 starting caliber players. KCP, he's not the sexiest name, but he was one of the most important players in that Lakers championship. People can laugh at him all they want, but, I think he's a great player. And Bruce Bowen was sneaky. sneakily like the third best player on that Nets team, which was a total disaster. He was like their only consistent player.
I agree. I've seen them play together a little bit. They look really good. Out of that group, though, the one who's the highest upside is Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I'm not counting on him, though.
Yeah, I know you can't count on him, which sucks. But, like, dude, in multiple times this preseason, I know it's only preseason, he has been the best player on the floor, like, for extended pieces of.
Are you worried about Murray still having conversations around, like, is he ready for games? And it's like, it's been an awkwardly long time.
Absolutely. Yes. He didn't play tonight in their final
Dude, he was the, like, fourth or fifth best player in the bubble? In the whole league?
Fair.
Something like that? And you're adding him to the two-time MVP team? It's just like,
In the
that's a lot of talent.
I mean, that bubble matchup between him and Donovan Mitchell, where they were like trading 50-point games, was incredible.
What about it's weird we haven't talked about the Warriors. I mean, they lost Otto Porter and Gary Payton, but they're going to basically be adding Wiseman, Moody, and Kuminga. Like, they're going to be, and I honestly don't think this Draymond thing's that big of a deal. Like, I think it's just people are going to forget about it halfway through the season when they're dominating. Like, I get that it's annoying and he shouldn't have done it, but like, those guys will get over it.
Don't forget Dante DiVincenzo as well, the Michael Jordan of Delaware, the man with the 42-inch vertical. I think he's their best non-essential player. And he's going to have to fill in the Gary Payton role. You know, the thing that's tough here, Josh, is that while Kuminga and Wiseman and Moody are talented players and great athletes, they are not the seasoned, mature veterans that Otto Porter and Gary Payton were. And that's also why I like the Clippers, is because like the Clippers have those guys in spades. And it's, you know, if the Warriors' chances, you know, end up coming down to like Wiseman, is Wiseman gonna be able to put up 15 points in a marquee playoff matchup? Maybe he will, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But like we have to put respect in the Warriors, Sam. I agree with you, man. They're the reigning champions. They really didn't face anybody who competed strongly against them in the playoffs last year. Like they went like 4-1, 4-2, 4-1, 4-2. That was so. Yeah, they're a force. What about the Lakers, man? I'm throwing my head in the ring as you know, as the Lakers are not my top dark horse pick, but if they make the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me.
With the team chemistry being so horrible on that team.
The team chemistry is an issue. Yeah.
Like it would shock.
Why is Russell Westbrook not in the huddle? Can you just go in the huddle, Russ? I don't get it. Go ahead, Josh.
He's like, I'm just trying to win games. Well, part of winning games, Russ, is that you're on a team of 5, and I hate Russell Westbrook now.
Let's go.
I mean, it's the same as every year. Is Anthony Davis going to be a top 5 player, or is he going to be a injured bum? Like, this is the difference. You know, if he's going to be top 5, they'll be pretty good. If not, they're going to suck.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Now,
sometimes it's that simple.
Are you optimistic that Westbrook gets traded at some point?
Oh, please. Well, the trade. Well, there will be a lot of teams that will take him if they can trade those 2 unprotected first. Because the Lakers are going to dangle their 2027 and 2029 first unprotected, which is going to be, you know, like Nets valuable when they traded for. Remember when the Nets traded the Celtics, those unprotected first?
Yeah.
They ended up getting Jason Tatum with one of those. So like,
and Jaylen Brown the other, right? Wasn't Jaylen Brown the other?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Teams are going to value that. They're going to force them to take on Westbrook. I mean, the one trade I've heard is mid-season, the Pacers are going to do it for, you know, Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I don't know if that's enough to like make any real big sway in the NBA.
I have a prediction that they're going to trade Westbrook for Harden. And it's just going to be like these two are going to be constantly like connected no matter what happens.
Okay, well, you're on record with that one. Okay, more NBA questions. Kostas Antetokounmpo cards. Shout out Kostas with a nice showing in Eurobasket this summer. Let's get your picks for this year's NBA awards. So we'll just do 3. MVP is the first. Well, we have MVP, Most Improved Player, and Sixth Man. So let's go in reverse order. Who do you have for Sixth Man of the year?
Sixth Man? I can't even. Jordan Clarkson's going to probably be a starter eventually, right?
yeah. His Sixth Man window is passed. He's like the second best player in that team now.
I have no idea, dude. I don't even know how the rosters are going to shake out. Who's coming off the bench? I'm not going to make this pick.
I know. I don't know.
Jamal Crawford, is he still in the NBA?
Who?
Jamal Crawford?
No,
He's on TNT with Lefka.
we're going to have
I don't know, dude.
Jokic for 3-peat.
Hold on. What are you doing? We're going in order here. You're not.
So spicy tonight.
You're half paying attention.
MVP's on your list
Look at that.
first.
All right, let's go. All right, so Sixth Man. I don't know, man. That is actually hard and boring. Pass.
It's going to be Max
Most-
Silva.
Most Improved Player. All right, I do have an answer to this one. Do you have an answer to Most Improved Player?
Not yet.
I have Michael Porter Jr. As the Most Improved Player. Book it.
Most improved. I'm going to go Scotty Barnes. I think he's going to have a monster year.
Yeah. And MVP. Who is your pick? Christina gave hers.
I did, out of order.
Who is your pick for MVP?
I think, like, statistically, it's lining up to be Luka, but I think the Nuggets are going to be like the 1 seed, and they're just going to have to give it to Jokic.
Amen.
Wow. Okay. That would be sick.
If they're the 1 seed, they have to give it to him.
Yeah, here's why it's tough. Will Jokic lead the league in PER if he's only averaging 20 points a game? I don't think so. And then and not saying that PR is the end all be all, but it has predicted 9 out of the last 10 MVPs. And then will Luka lead the league in PER? No, he's not. The style of shots that he takes, the style that he plays, he's not quite efficient enough, as very few guards or forwards are. Those are concerns about both of those guys. But I think MVP is wide open. The field for MVP is wide open. Look, I don't know.
I think it's like 5 names. I don't think it's wide open. I think there's only like 5 names that can get it.
The 5 you would say is Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, Luka, and Tatum.
I don't think Tatum's efficient enough.
He scores well on some advanced stuff, like 538's Raptor loves him, dunks him.
No,
3.
I think it's those 4 guys. I just think like we're all way too dialed in on the stats. And if you're like even a little bit off of those top guys, because those top 4 are like really separate themselves, especially those top 3 minus Luka last year, they really separated themselves statistically. It's just going to be hard to crack that top 5.
Yeah, it is. All right. This was a fun question. Future proof. If you have $10,000 to spend on cards or a card of a single player from the 2021 draft class, which player and what cards?
I like how it turned into an investing question so quickly. For basketball?
Yeah.
I already gave my answer, Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes. And what card? What Scotty Barnes? Can you get a Barnes RPA for that?
This is not
For 10
investment
grand?
advice. Hold on, let me put a disclaimer out. We do not give investment advice.
Correct. And there's nothing in this question that this question is, hey, if you had 10 grand and you have to spend it on this, what would you do? It's just a thought experiment.
Well, I was thinking like it's gonna be really hard for me to spend 10 grand on Gurley. I'll try my hardest, you guys, but it will be difficult. I don't think I've even come close to that yet.
All right, so you're saying Scotty Barnes, but what card?
Oh, I don't. Whatever. For 10 grand, I don't know. Whatever I can get for 10 grand, I'd buy 1 card.
And I'm gonna go Jalen Green, who's my favorite player from that draft class. And I think I'd be able to get like a lower, like a PSA 8 or PSA 9 Prism Gold. Christina?
There you go.
Here's some of the big names from my draft class. Cade Cunningham, number 1 pick. Got Jalen Green, Mobley Barnes, Josh Giddey, Kuminga, Franz Wagner. Then it started Chris Duarte, Alperen Şengün, who I think is kind of sick, actually. Trey Mann, who I think is underrated on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Bones Highland. There's a 6th man of the year candidate.
Oh, he's on the Nuggets. He played really well last year when we saw him in the playoffs.
Yep. You would like Bones Highland. That your guy, Bones?
Yeah, I think I would go with Bones Highland.
Lights, camera, card says, do you play fantasy basketball and can I be in a league with you, please?
We can do the plug for Cajun.
Let's do it. Go for it, man.
We participated in a mock fantasy draft where people will vote on the results of the draft alone. There will be no continued fantasy statistical scoring kept. It's just the draft. I'm not doing fantasy basketball this year, are you?
No.
It's too much work. I've heard that there's weekly leagues where you can set lineups for the week. That's kind of interesting because that's equal to the amount of work for football.
It's worse because you have multiple games.
That's what you just said.
Oh.
But you pick for the week.
In best ball, you can do
Best ball. Well, let me ask you this. I'll let you do this after I ask you. What do you think of football so far? Are you having fun?
No.
Yeah, football is awesome. Christina was accused of forgetting to log into her fantasy football team and not checking it.
Stupid because your computer remembers it, so you don't need to remember your password. Okay?
Specifically our league.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I treat fantasy football as a very low effort thing. I check my roster about once a week. I spend about 10 minutes on it, and then I just have fun on Sunday. I have a clear set of rooting interests. I root for those guys. If it goes well, great. If it doesn't, what are you going to do?
Great.
It's a fun league. The scoring system is interesting. So 1 win for finishing in the top half and 1 win for beating your opponent. It balances the luck of having a poor opponent against, the achievement of being the best out of all who are involved.
Yeah, that's a new rule. We never had that before.
How do you like that new rule?
I like it. I think it's going to end up most likely being a wash anyways, but I bet you this is, I think, the 12th year we've done this league. I bet you 4 of those 12 years it would have changed the playoff seedings or changed, a team making the playoffs and not.
Interesting. I think it could play a role in determining out because I'm in that cluster of middle of the pack people where it could come down to 1 win that decides if I get the 4th seed or not and make it.
We in the first year of this league, and it might have been second. James in our league, he was 0-5, and he made the playoffs that year.
Oh my god!
So there's always hope.
Dude, that's a little weird.
It was crazy. It was 0-5. It never happened again. It was just a random year, but it's possible.
It is possible. Okay, so we'll see. I'm currently in 4th. What are you? You're in 2nd right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so you and me would both be in the playoffs if they started today. Here's the same. So, you are in tied for 2nd at 8-2. I'm in 4th at 6-4, and then 5th is 5-5. So, dude, it really could.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. But I think so far, we have one guy who's 9-1, which means there was 1 week where he finished where he beat his opponent but didn't finish in the top 5.
No, other way around. I beat the shit out of him.
Oh,
and he was top 5.
He still finished in the top 5. Yeah, so there you go.
He had second most points in the league. I had first. He lost.
But he still actually went 500 for the week because of that.
Yeah, so because his team was great. He had a huge Monday night. He had 70 points from his Monday night guys.
Oh my god! How about Kelsey just?
Oh my god!
Fortunes on Monday night, including.
I think he finished with this, but like during most of the game, he had more fantasy points than receiving yards. Because he had like 26 yards and 4 touchdowns for 30-something points.
Yeah, that's a tough beat if you're on the other side of that. But it's Kelsey, man. He's good. All right. Kobe 81-23, 1996-13 says, this is going to be a recurring question, I think, from Mohammed. What are the best and the worst takes that you have heard since the last crossover?
Since the last crossover?
Yeah, yes.
Well, someone DM'd me that the Suns should tank this year. So, David, that was the worst take I've heard.
Yo, that's funny.
Best take?
That's hilarious.
I can't think of like my best. You have a best take?
Best take. No. I don't make notes of people's takes. Like, I need to start.
We just need to make notes of our own takes.
Yeah. We can give our own best. All right. Well, sorry, Mohammed, but I'll try to think about this. Like, throughout the course of the next week, I'll try to make notes of bad.
Or in this episode, just like stop and shout out your answer.
Yes. Oh, well, here, on a gambling podcast I was listening to, Jalen Brunson was nominated for Most Improved Player. And I don't even think he will show improvement. I think he'll take a step back on that.
Wow. Once you get rid of him, you're just like, fuck this guy. He sucks now.
Dude, I just like thought I would, in a neutral, unemotional state of mind, put on a Knicks preseason game against the Pacers, and I found myself rooting against him with a lot of hatred.
He kind of left him, high and dry there.
He did, and hey, look, the Knicks offered more money. Like this is.
Oh,
they did, and this is as much a mismanagement.
Did they though? State taxes? Did they?
Fair, maybe not. Maybe it would have evened out. But this is as much on the Mavs front office. I also think the Mavs maybe didn't want him, and that's fine too. They had a different vision for where they wanted to go. Like, the Mavs also blew off Goran Dragic over the summer. They literally told Dragic, hey, we'll sign you, and all Dragic wants is the vet minimum, but you're only going to play once every 5 games. And so Dragic said, forget that. I'll go to the Bulls instead, who are promising me a prominent role. It's like the Mavs blow off the backup point guard position. Brunson is one example. Dragic is another. So I don't know why they do that. But
dude, if I were you guys, I'd be kind of upset. I'm upset at the Suns front office. I don't think they did jack shit. I think they fucking definitely got worse. I don't think the Mavs did much either.
I disagree.
Some of these other teams made moves. I'm thinking of Denver making moves. The Pelicans got CJ McCollum, which I think is gonna pay off for them. It didn't necessarily last year, but I think that's gonna pay off. The Pelicans are gonna be good. The Warriors are they've got these young guys. They've already got depth built in. They've got stuff. They've got people ready to step up. I feel like every team has guys ready to go this year to bolster their depth and improve their teams. And I feel like the Suns and Mavs didn't do much.
I disagree with that. We got Christian Wood and McGee, and I like where we're headed. And and I'm a total homer now that I am literally living in Dallas.
Oh yeah, the homerism started now.
It definitely started now.
Wood, that's how you know it's a homer.
Yeah. So all right, I am, and the thing that pisses me off the most is the Dragic thing. That is the thing that pisses me off the most. The guy was willing to sign for the vet minimum, but they pushed him away. And they said, do you really want to sign here? You're only going to get 1 in every 5 games. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll go somewhere else. And that's literally the one need that I feel like they have, is they need a guy coming off the bench who can be a point guard. And then they signed Facu Campazzo in the offseason then. So
You're so stupid, but we
But
needed
Hardaway's coming back.
for Luca, and that's what that is. And I've had this conversation many times.
All right, moving on. Drake's PC says, how can we as a hobby better spotlight awesome collectors who collect players that aren't necessarily considered great investments by the hobby? Do we know anything about this? Even with the correction, there's still too many posts and stories of the same players and cards over and over.
Dude, I've been talking to Jesse Flippity Flip Cards. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
He's got some fucking sick cards.
Yeah, he was pulling out gold McCaffrey rookie PSA 10s out of nowhere like a year or two ago. He was just like, do you need this? I was like, yeah.
He's got like awesome gold vinyl DeAndre Hopkins. He picked up a Jerry Rice credentials 9.5. And he's like, oh, I had some sick mail days this week. And I was like, you should fucking go live. Fucking open all of them all at once and live. He's like, yeah, I'm a little nervous to go live. I'd have to like build up the courage. And I was thinking like, we should have people like that on the show, or, you and me go live with them and like, here, just freaking show us all your cards. We can do a whole segment on like just showing off sick cards. That'd be sick. That was just an idea that popped in my head earlier tonight. It kind of goes with this question.
I like that. That'd be fun.
Because you even did that today. This was more about the Reebok collab, but you were asking like, what about your collection? Just pulling that out of people, I think makes for the best content.
You would know better than anybody. You were the first one in my hobby content scope that I witnessed doing collector interviews with regular intervals. I used to leave from work on Fridays and rush to my car to put the video camera on the dashboard over the speedometer and just do my hour-long drive home from downtown LA to Westwood in traffic, but just watching the new Cardboard Chronicles comes out. And that content has been conspicuously absent from the hobby, where you just bring on somebody who collects and knows about collecting, and then you just give them the floor to discuss what they collect, why they collect, how they got to where they are, where they want to see their collection going.
Yeah, because those people, whatever segment or whatever niche those people have, they just know more about it than anybody else. Like Flippity, Jesse knows so much about gold prism and gold refractor receiver cards that it's like he just makes me look stupid when I'm like, oh, I've got this sweet girl. He's like, yeah, great. I've collections like that of like 15 receivers. So welcome. I'm glad you're having fun with this, Mr. LeBron guy, but I've been doing this for 3 years, It's like,
right.
Damn, I want to know more about this area,
Exactly. So George says, do I hear a show us your cards segments forthcoming?
I don't know how, it's like, we can do that, Chris, but like at a certain point, like people have to start, first of all, people have to stop consuming content that is just like completely pure investment driven bullcrap, and they need to start putting their clicks and their attention towards that stuff. That's where it has to start. It can't just be like, oh, we'll come in and just do this thing and all of a sudden it'll be saved, right? This will be the new way the hobby moves. Like, no, it has to be like this sort of movement that a lot of people get excited about.
Yeah. Look, don't make us ask to see yours. Just show us what you got. We want to see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Start posting your goddamn cards.
Yes. All right. Pac Nicholson says, sometimes when I'm bidding on cards, this guy's like a master bidder.
2 weeks in a row.
Sometimes when I'm bidding on cards and I lose out on an auction that was, say, $50, I then tell myself, I just saved $50, and now I have an extra $50 in my card budget to use on the next auction. Do you guys ever use this kind of irrational thinking when bidding on cards?
Every time. I feel like every time this happens, you and I text each other, dude, I just saved 10 grand. What am I buying for 10 grand? Or whatever amount of money it is.
I feel like every time I see a card I want, I just look at my bank account and say, can I afford it? And then I just buy it, and I don't try and think about budget.
That's taking it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with the logic of...
No, I love this logic.
I mean, I don't. What's wrong with that? If you say, hey, I want to spend $50 on a card, and then you lose the auction, you do have $50 extra that you can roll into next week's $50. We are on rollover plans in the hobby.
So what's this called? Stiff wants to know what's the term, because we have mega bid for the last one. What's this one called?
I don't know. Rollover bid. I don't know.
Rollover minutes.
Rollover budget.
I like rollover.
Yeah. the rollover bid, rollover budget, rollover
card, rollover money. I like rollover because it's like, oh, Pac Nicholson says, wait, he's coming up. Rollover budget. I like rollover budget. Okay,
there you go. That's what you said, right? There you go, Christina. Take your win.
Wait, he says, I mean, if you allocate $100, and then lose the first 50, then you still have 50. Yeah.
What happened to the first 50?
Like maybe he put in a mega bid of $100 on a card, and then it only went for 50. So his mega bid was like budgeted for an extra $50. So that $50 is now rollover budget, and he gets to put that $50 into his next card.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I think I love this. This isn't even financial reasoning.
This isn't even logic that needs to be dissected. It just makes sense. Like it's just facts.
It does. These are just big facts.
Oh, dude, we just had someone join the chat that I made a huge offer to on some sick early cards. I need this guy to accept this offer. So everyone in the chat, just say accept.
Hey, you want to just have him come on the show and we can do like a live negotiation?
Just like watch it happen. Yeah, come on, man. It's a huge offer. I'm such a psycho with the offer, like you are.
Yes.
Just take it. Here's this crazy offer. It makes no sense. If all these hit auction, it would go for a tenth of this. Doesn't matter. I need these cards.
Yeah, I know.
Now I'm going to spook him. He's going to be like, wow, now I'm going to definitely not accept.
This guy's sicking this chat of...
Well, I didn't give his name, so that's, I'm very respectful.
Well, we'll figure it out by process of elimination.
There's only 70 people like going through the chat. Who is it?
Josh is reading the chat, and this guy says accept. He's like, oh, okay, good. Accept, bud.
Bud.
All right.
Stiff, did you like that new patch? Stiff's all about the patches. We should do a thing for Stiff, whatever this segment's called, where he just shows us all these freaking patches he's picking up.
I know. He gets very, cautious or reserved when it comes to like showing off the cards. He's just very humble about the cards, but we
don't care.
Yeah, we should have him on. show the patch. The patch treasure chest.
He had it out at your place, right?
Well, those were just the ones he was traveling with.
That's my favorite thing in the hobby, when someone shows you something really sick, and then you look at them, you're like, what else do you got? And they're like, well, some of it's here and there. It's kind of all over. And you're like, oh my God, I have to know every card you own right now.
That was just yeah, exactly. All right. Next topic is 3 different questions about some guy that LeBron dubbed the alien. So,
oh my God, let's go.
Dillick Card says, Victor Wembanyama thoughts? People are saying he would be the #1 prospect over LeBron if they were in the same draft. Do you agree? And then guesses / predictions on his Prism Black Gold prices when they come out. I'm just going to read all the questions here. The next one was Lights, Camera, Action. Am I the only one that thinks Victor Wembanyama cards will be crazier than Luka and crazier than Zion? Peak prices.
Ooh.
Mostly 90s basketball cards says, Victor Wembanyama is the best prospect I've ever seen, including LeBron, in the current card prospecting market. Do you have any thoughts about what collecting his rookie cards will look like? Is there any chance these prominent rookie cards will actually be released during his rookie season? Do you think they'll have a Topps Chrome rookie card? Do you think manufacturers will dramatically change their products and offerings? Sorry for all the questions. Okay.
Dude, I love the way those questions ended, though.
Yeah.
He might have a Topps Chrome card. How sick would that be?
It'd be pretty cool. and also the other important question he asked is, will these products be released when they're supposed to be? Because like the product schedule release is just killing many things in our hobby. Not only is it killing like enthusiasm for the product, it's killing enthusiasm for the sport in our hobby, that you can't own rookies of the guys that you actually want to take a chance on before we know really what they are. It's hurting grading, because grading, this is the time when, dude, Prism basketball should be coming out in 2 to 3 weeks. This is normally when it would come out. And you have Boncaro Prism Golds being pulled, and it just sucks. All right.
So we have no date for Prism basketball?
No.
That's super frustrating, man. Prism basketball, when the season fires off, oh my gosh. Right now, it would just be such a huge thing.
It would.
And even more so next year for Wembanyama. That'd be so great.
It would. All right, well, let's go. Is Wembanyama the best prospect the world has ever seen?
No. He's not a bigger prospect than LeBron. I can't believe people are saying that. I don't understand that. We had 3 years of media coverage of LeBron in fucking high school as a sophomore. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. It was like story after story after story. And maybe this is just like me being an American and Wembanyama being overseas or whatever, but I just remember like nonstop LeBron stuff in high school all the time. And I heard about Wembanyama, and he's played in two televised games. I've heard about him for like a few months now. It's just not the same.
Yep. Also, I don't think we'll ever be able to have prospects of the hype caliber that was possible 15 or 20 years ago, because we had much more of a monoculture back then, where it was just a handful of magazines setting the tone for sports culture. Now, sports culture is diffuse. People have Twitter lists that they follow and niche podcasts that they listen to, and they focus on one team, and the monoculture is not there anymore. It's very much a diffuse culture. This is manifesting in music as well. It's very difficult to have one thing, one artist, one player dominate the way that the systems were set up to enable it to happen 20 years ago. So I don't even know if it's possible to have an athlete that the sports audiences are singularly focused on the way they were on LeBron.
If this hobby is so scared of the big man, why are we so quick to make the biggest man the hobby that? He's like 7'4", right?
By some accounts, 7'5".
So we're ready to just crown him, even though we're sort of like throwing it in the face of everything we know about the hobby.
Yeah, I think the big man thing, from my personal collecting taste, has always just missed the mark. Hakeem Olajuwon is a highly collectible player to me. I also collect a different center, who I find to be pretty darn collectible as well, personally. I think that the big man thing is like, we've never really tested that theory, but it seems like every time that the opportunity to test it comes up, like, isn't Giannis a pretty big guy? And I would say behind Curry and LeBron, he's the most important hobby athlete in basketball right now. I don't really think that theory actually holds up. I think that theory is used to explain what actually ends up being other reasons why certain players like Tim Duncan or Shaq or Dirk Nowitzki, I think it's used to explain why those guys' prices aren't as strong as other players. But I think there's other reasons for that. I don't think it's the fact that they're big. I think you can be big and you can be collectible.
I think it's a factor. I think it's probably overblown, but I think it definitely is a piece of it.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. To me, a guy being a center and playing the center position does not make him any more or less collectible than a guard.
Well, so then let's talk about him as a prospect and like a hobby prospect.
Sure. Well, it's difficult because the cultural aspect is not there. So the last cultural phenomenon was Zion Williamson. And that you had the Duke, you had the March Madness, you had lots of factors that made him a focal point of American sports culture.
The YouTube dunking.
The YouTube, high school highlights, him playing against people who are like half of his size, all that stuff contributes to the energy, and the virality catches on and people are sharing to their Facebook page and everything. And now it's just I don't see that same wave being true with Wembanyama. I think Wembanyama is a highly touted prospect among basketball nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just stop you there because, for all intents and purposes, Luka should have been that as well. Coming from Europe with his pedigree and his CV, but he wasn't. So there's an American bias in the NBA and in sports journalism in America that doesn't allow for European players to break through the way that they should be represented.
But maybe they actually have paved the way for that to happen now. Maybe after Jokic, after Embiid, after Giannis, after Luka, maybe now it's like the American media is finally like, okay, maybe we actually need to get on board with these prospects.
Yeah, I just haven't seen enough of him play basketball to make much of an opinion on the basketball front. Like those games, he looked really impressive. Obviously, we've never seen a 7'4" guy be able, do anything close to that. He's, extremely skilled, the step back threes and all that crazy stuff. He kind of like moves like a much smaller player. And I'm already, Bill Simmons is calling him like an alien because we're just seeing, it's just stuff that we haven't seen. He's kind of like Porzingis with like a, shooting guard, point guard type range and jump shot and stuff. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, the biggest thing with him, I think, is going to be injury. We've just seen too many cases of these big guys. We already seen it with Chet. He's already hurt. He's already out for the year. Embiid, Porzingis gets hurt a lot. I don't know. I'm worried about the injuries, but it'd be great if he was awesome. Like the NBA it would be good for the NBA. More international talent is good.
Yeah, and good for the hobby too. We haven't had a prospect like this since the Zion class.
Which has been what? It'll be 3 years, 4 years.
Well, by the time Wembanyama comes, it'll be 4 years.
Will he be out next year?
Yeah.
So he's going to be playing another season in France?
Correct.
So he's basically, what would be the equivalent of Luka? So Luka was 17 when he won the MVP, and then he had one more season and then came to the NBA, or how does that work?
In his final season, his age 18 season in the EuroLeague, which Wembanyama doesn't play in the EuroLeague anymore, or at least last I checked, he was playing for a French professional team. But Wembanyama did play in the EuroLeague last year at his age 18. So Luka in his age 18 in the EuroLeague averaged 16-5, won the tournament MVP, and won the championship. That was his age 18 in EuroLeague. Wembanyama's age 18 in EuroLeague, he averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds.
So but his upcoming season will be
age 19.
So Luka played an age 19 season in the EuroLeague too?
No, 18.
So how come Wembanyama has to play an extra year?
I don't know.
I think it's because when his birthday is.
Yeah, it could just be something as simple as that.
Did Luka turn, Luka's born in February, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he basically is going to be older when he comes in than Luka was?
Yeah, probably by 6 months or something like that.
Okay. I don't know much about the international game. What do you think about Scoot from the G-League, sorry.
Hey, look, if we're going to give Wembanyama crazy props for what he did in 2 G-League exhibition games, Scoot was really good in the first one. In the second one, he got hurt or, tweaked something, but,
yeah,
he was clearly the best or the second best player on the floor when he was out there.
Dude, I think here's a hot take that you might want to write down and might not age well. I think that G-League is gonna kind of become a thing here.
Yeah.
Because if Scoot can bring a decent amount of attention to it and media, and we actually follow a player like him through a G-League season that we actually care about for once, and he's successful with it, he might prove you don't necessarily need to go to college and do all these silly, things when they could get more, you're sort of more closely related to a minor league for the NBA, right? I feel like that could be a thing. It just seems like if they're going to get paid to be in the G League, and if they can find a way to get a decent amount of exposure relative to college basketball, especially if you're going to be one to three guys, and you're the main 3 guys to focus on in the G League versus getting sort of washed away in a sea of hundreds of players in NCAA. It might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's a fun take. G League has always been a place where the NBA is comfortable to experiment. So I don't know if they still do it, but for a period
With the
of time,
rules.
they were doing like the one free throw worth 2 points thing to see like how they
Yeah.
look at it. It'd be great if they did something content-wise experimental with the G League. Like, hey, let's put video cameras in there with Scoot and the G League Ignite. And let's just make a mini-series out of this that's like a little risque, all access, gets into the personal stuff. That would be
And one shit.
What if G League started miking up players and you could like hear them swearing at each other and hear the actual it would be like reality TV for sports fans.
Dude. And one mixtape.
Yeah.
Totally. Shout out to Corey Carter, Nas Productions, for saying G League needs a Netflix series. Like, yeah, exactly.
Like, freaking follow these guys around. That'll be so entertaining.
It would.
But the issue is that you need those big names. So, like, that's why I said Scoot, if he's going to be successful with this, he could kind of pave the way for – if he's successful and he's able to garner a lot of interest and fans from this season, then more people will be comfortable to do it.
Well, Alex Caruso came from the G League when the Lakers were hurt and they had to call up someone from their G League team.
Well, he went through Texas A&M, though. I'm talking about skipping college and making G League your college replacement.
Oh, I didn't understand that part.
All right. Next question. Hometown Authentic says, what are your thoughts on having a professional photographer come take pictures of your collection?
I thought about it being interesting. I'm not sure.
I think it's not nearly as easy to take pictures of cards inside, especially if they're inside of plastic cases, than you might think. I don't think that if you just kind of like picked a professional photographer out of a hat, that they would be able to take nice looking pictures that are up to the standard that we're hoping for. I think it's really tough to properly capture cards. Like, you need to know what it is about the card that you want to have captured. Like, you need to know that, like, hey, if this is a refractor, I really want to see the full rainbow effect at some part of where it's refracting on the card. I think a professional photographer might not get that, or might not, have the same mindset of like what a photographed card looks like.
Yeah, you need someone that like knows the hobby even a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't want to have like all of my cards that like I keep in vaults and like bank deposit boxes, like in a place, and then like pay someone I don't know to come over to take pictures of.
Why?
I don't know, I'm just sketched out. Like, who is this person?
That's okay, I guess. They don't know what they're worth, do they?
Why are you taking pictures of it?
I don't know, you're weird. You like pictures of these little pieces of cardboard.
I guess they're like photographers take pictures of dogs, so.
Yeah, okay. 90s b-ball cards. Oh, by the way, I've just resigned myself or accepted the fact it's just all about the scans. I'm trying to clear and clean up my Instagram profile right now, big time. I love the pages that are just scans. The scans piss me off because like sometimes they don't capture the shine of the cards, but at the end of the day, it's just the best. The scan, just put the damn cards in a scanner. Forget the photographer. Put the cards in the scanner. You're gonna love the continuity of how your page looks if you just have that nice, consistent rows of scans. That's what I said. Or on a beach at sunset. All right. 90s b-ball card says, on a scale of poop to pizza, how much do you love the shift and focus slowly moving towards collecting?
Cheese pizza.
I'm going poop.
Poop?
I'm going poop.
Do you feel like it's fake?
No, I like poop better than pizza. No, I'm going poop because we need a few foils. Basically yes, Josh, because it is fake. Because people who are making the move to collector-based, strategies and content and philosophies, some it may be organic for, and that's great. But there definitely is a level of inauthentic collector-branded content that's either being leveraged to sell a product, which is extremely annoying, or it's being used to, clout chase and create an influencer culture and just trying to tap into what the zeitgeist is of sports card culture at a given time. And either way, I don't like that. And we need foils. We need to be able to say who we are by pointing to the people who are opposite of us. That's an important concept. We need the foils. We don't need a bunch of, people trying to be the same collector.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's right. It's all about like the intent. If you can tell that their intention is they actually have become a collector now, right? And they've shifted or whatever, that's great. Post more. We welcome you. But yeah, if it's like with this mindset of, oh yeah, I'm glad now that I've got you hooked, here's my product or here's my, way to get more followers.
Totally. Or as Carvin says, balance is needed. Carvin, the ultimate room balancer. Yes, sir. As usual, you're right. Balance is good. Tiger Jordan 311. How many cards are typically in your eBay watch list?
eBay watch list? Like 10 to 15.
Oh, okay. Mine is almost always maxed out. I usually have
I figured.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, how are you finding all the? Is it like you're just watching anything and everything?
Yeah, I watch all types of random stuff. So
I usually have like 1 to 3 in my watch list.
1 to 3?
Yeah, I don't watch anything.
That's an economical watch list.
Yeah.
Why do you not watch it? I max it out. I have searches of cards I'll never own. I just look for all Prism Golds. I look for all Prism Blacks. I just scroll.
You have like watch lists of like best offer stuff that never gets sold.
Yeah. Some stuff is there. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I clear those out because it's like depressing looking at that card just sit there.
The only things I put on
I like the auctions.
Here.
are
I
like,
can pull up my watch list.
because you also have to, like, the things that I'm looking up on eBay are Maxi Cleveland cards. Like, nothing else really is searched on eBay these days. And I'm really just looking to see what cards they're selling for and, like, what card.
No, we know how watch lists work and why they exist.
Dude, nope. Stop showing your fucking watch list, you dingus. You're gonna give away your.
Oh man, I was waiting for somebody to be like, "Don't."
I saw that McCaffrey. And it's like, scroll, you dummy.
All right, let's see which. All right,
Scroll past the thing. That thing. I can just already tell that card is sick. So scroll.
dude, that card has a dumb price.
Yeah. See, I can't stand looking at this stuff that's like way overpriced, just sitting there.
I'm following a Marcus Morris Prism Gold from 2018.
What are you doing, bro?
Oh, this is an interesting one. A Dirk 2018 Prism Gold.
Dude, look at that. That's the stuff I want to watch. Like the auctions. I want to see how they end. Those are fun to watch.
Look at 2020 Prism Joel Embiid Black Shimmer 1 of 1. A Jordan Platinum Medallion. Oh, I have a funny story of an interaction with this guy. A Frank Ntilikina Prism Black Luck of the Lottery 1 of 1. Just so much random stuff.
Oh, I love that Mahomes.
Oh, dude, me too. This is at auction right now from Cardboard Preacher on Instagram. I
had like 3 of those.
Yeah, I remember, dude. Didn't you have the black of this at one point?
No, I had 3 of those ones though.
Dude, damn, you had 3 of these. Yeah, I actually have this on my watch list because I'm considering bidding on it.
Dude, those are so nice. Second year golds. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this card's sick. I love the picture too.
Yep.
And the red and the gold just really pop.
Yep.
Yeah, so, dude, my watch list is just full of stuff. Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know why.
Dude, you're the biggest gold prism simp on the planet.
I'm close. Oh, this is a fun one.
Oh, dude, I saw that. Oh, shit. Dude, he's on the cover of the box of that shit, man. That's a huge card.
Dude, this is a huge card. Kevin Knox, Rookie Year, Prism Black. Good damn it.
Isn't that just like a cool card? That's like, owning like the black, like Anthony Bennett or something. Like it's just kind of a neat card to own.
It is, dude. I'd own that card for, well, what's it at right now? It's at $277 already. It's starting to get up there. Look at this. A Bojan Bogdanovic Prism Gold, $62 buy it now.
What are you waiting for?
Nah, I'm good on that. Trey Jones. I like this guy in San Antonio. I think he's a pretty.
But explain to me the logic behind keeping that Bojan Bogdanovic in your watch list.
I want to know.
infinitely.
I would love to know if somebody buys that for $62.
Well, there's this product that I could sell you on that will tell you if it sells.
Yeah, but look, it's on my
It's called
watch
Card Ladder.
list. I know, but look, it's on my watch list. If it disappears from my watch list, I know about it. Yep, I'm watching these Cooper Cups. This is a pretty sick Cooper Cup.
You'll finally have closure on your life that Bogdanovic card sold. You'll finally be able to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, this is a neat card. This is another BGS 9 of 2018 Prism Gold, but it's a Trey rookie. That's a pretty sweet card.
Dude, I feel like we need to make futures bets on Cooper Cup versus Justin Jefferson.
I'll win them all. What are we doing? Did we go over the stats or not?
Let's do career receiving yards.
Career? Okay, you'll win that one.
Oh, really? Is that because Cooper Cup had a late start to his career? Might that be the reason?
Well, yeah. He only became good like a year and a half ago, so.
Oh, I see.
Late bloomer. Oh, I missed. All right, enough. Enough of the watch list.
you got the LeBron gold prisms coming up. Time to hide.
Yep, time to hide. Don't look at those. You guys need to see this.
You know how I know you have so many? A lot of those, you have it sorted by like ending soonest, and like most of those weren't auctions. Like ending soonest on a 30-day like rolling fucking relist calendar.
I have so many. I go until it's full. It's probably full right.
Do you ever just like look through those watch lists and be like, why is this still in here?
Yes. Yeah, I'll clear it out every once in a while.
Yeah, you clear it out when eBay's like, you have to clear it out because you're mad.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to miss anything, man. I'm FOMOing. I don't want to miss
Does eBay still have the issue where they would like count the stuff in your watch list that has ended towards your max? You have to like clear out your watch list ended?
You know, that's a great question. I haven't been prompted to clear it out in a while, so maybe not.
Because they used to do that to me. I used to have to sit there and clear out my watch list ended, but I haven't had to do that in forever.
Yep. That is just encouraging me to hoard even.
You know it's gonna be really funny? Tomorrow morning you're gonna look at that watch list ended and there's gonna be like 15 of those that you just showed popped off into the ended.
Yeah, only because it was Christina, who happens to be the person who buys them every time.
No, you don't get anything tonight.
Christina like FOMOs when that happens. All right, we have another watch list question. Timmy D21PC says, if you could have any card in your current eBay watch list for free, what card are you picking?
Well, you have the most interesting choice to make here. You're going to be scrolling all day trying to figure that one out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll take the most valuable one. How about that?
Yeah, sort by highest price.
McCaffrey with that awesome patch.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was from the XR brand. I'm not a huge fan of that one.
Hold on. I'll find mine.
Christina?
I don't have anything in my watch list right now.
What? How do you people live with 0 cards in your watch list?
All right, I have 2.
I just buy one.
You have 2? Let's go.
Well, the fans are going to get a kick out of one of them.
Let's go. Yep, for sure.
Wait, hold on. Let me find the seller.
Yeah, let's go.
Fucking Black Rose. He's just holding it hostage. $7,500 for a Todd Gurley. Are you insane? This dude's nuts. This is a 1-1 though, and then the other one is that one.
Damn, they still put cards like that on eBay?
Exactly. These cards like this never go on eBay, and this one's been sitting on eBay for a long time.
Wow.
Whenever I see something like that hit my watch in my saved search list, I'm like, what? People still put cards like that on eBay? Well, that's a watch.
Yeah, that's sick. That's really sick.
It used to be a lot because I have a saved search for just like LeBron Exquisite. It's just like, that's it. No exclusions. I just want to all filter it myself, you know? And nothing ever comes up. It's always some dumb college or high school card or something. Never something cool. But this is cool.
Yeah. No, I mean all that stuff is moved to the high-end auction houses. All right.
Let's make eBay random seller guy cool again with sick cards.
Dude, it's so tough though. Like, do you feel comfortable sending a guy on eBay more than
I mean, you're asking about buying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
eBay? I feel great about that.
With the authenticity program now, yes.
Yeah.
And I do believe eBay will make sure that nobody gets scammed, or as few people get scammed as possible, and you'll get your money back. And or PayPal will help make sure that happens too. But the thing that I'm worried about is just it just being something that just wastes time and
Yeah. We'll see. They get a free loan.
Yeah.
I thought you meant, I think you're saying from the seller. I'd be sketched out as a seller to put up something like that. Just have it sit on eBay. I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah, that too. All right, Spurs Cards 21 with the ultimate newbie question of the night. I'm going to give this the Noob Question Award. Have you considered a finder's fee or bounty for, say, a Luka rookie 1-of-1 or for any card? Hello, we do bounties, sir. We've been doing bounties.
I do a different way than you, which is like, I just start begging people and saying, I'll pay you some fee. We'll figure it out. I'll give you money. Just help me find the card. You just go straight for the straight number. I want this card and this is the price.
When I'm like really fed up and I'm just ready, yeah.
So that's after, how long is that until you're just like, here's the fucking number?
Well, actually, that's really only happened once. So maybe I was a little too hard on Spurs Cards 21. Yeah, it's only happened only once.
I've been posting those a lot lately. Like once a week, I'll just post, I'm looking for the girly cards. Any weirdos find them or connect me, I'll pay you.
Yeah. That's...
Remember that time when someone was like, you're too mean to people who ask questions when they're like new to the hobby?
Spurs Cards 21 is not new to the hobby.
I know,
He is a legend.
He is a legend, but like, you're me, like, if someone new is watching this and they hear that response, like, oh, you get the new question of the week. Like,
Well, look, I've graded the questions on the show before. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes I got to take the question askers to task. Look, you can't give an A to every paper. Sometimes.
You know what my take on this is? Our youth is coddled way too much.
So go ahead, Josh.
Our youth is coddled way too much.
Let's go.
We need to tell people the way it is. You need to be sent through the fire immediately, and you will learn much quicker.
Yeah. All right. I was not expecting a Clint Eastwood get off my lawn rant tonight, but let's go. That's the mood.
what movie is that from?
That is the mood.
That is from Gran Torino. That's a great movie.
Yeah. I remember that movie. You never watched Gran Torino?
That is a great movie.
Yep. No doubt. All right. You should post the top 10 worst questions a week.
Well,
No. If we ever need to cull the herd of questions and trim them down a little bit, maybe that.
do you have a live look at our worst question of the week?
No.
I think that goes down.
I didn't say it was the worst question. It's a totally fine question. It was just a slightly offensive question because it's like, that we're putting out bounties, don't you? Like, I saw you put out a bounty today.
That's what I said. I put one out today. Was that the funniest moment in crossover history?
Ooh, yeah.
The trash can thing?
Probably. It just raged on, dude.
It was like an hour straight of just total nonsense.
Yeah, that was a great one.
And then it lingered a couple weeks where we would wait a few minutes into the show and then all right, I got to pull it out. Here's a trash can.
Yeah. Yep. I just, it just sometimes it's a good callback, you know. There was an era of this show that involved like office memes, and like remember people used to write in stories of like the hobby, but they were from the office, but they were switching hobby characters. And yeah, we just had like a month or two. Yeah, all started by Drew Brees as a commentator. So true. Is he even commentating this year?
Oh, that's what it was. You were like, here's a live look at Drew Brees commentating. And I was like, damn, that is harsh as hell. I didn't, because it was like totally threw me off. I was like, oh, what is this? Let me lean in. What's he about? That's a fucking trash can. Wow, that hurts. What if Drew Brees, said some mean things about you? How would you feel?
Oh, I would be devastated. That would be really hard. He'd be like, hey, live look at Chris Hoge's PC. Just a.
I'd be more like feeling pity for him that he knows who we are. Like,
yeah.
Really, like your life is that bad that you know who we are.
Kurt Warner replied to a tweet showing that his card is by Eric Whiteback, showing that his card is much cheaper than a Kyler Murray card. Let me see if I can find that.
I was going to say, cheaper than, like, any quarterback.
His reply was something along the lines of, like, gotta love this world.
Oh, shucks. Kurt. He's such a oh, shucks kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. All right. I know that... Here it is. Here it is. Wow, look at that. That was much easier than I thought. So... Eric, or the Collectibles Guru on Twitter, says the most expensive Kyler Murray card of all time, $96,000. Most expensive, and shout out to Eric, card letter user. And the most expensive Kurt Warner card of all time, $6,099. Okay. And Kurt Warner goes, gotta love the world we live in.
Dude, Eric's having a day on Twitter. He's the one that broke this whole backyard thing, right?
He's definitely the one who put in the research and into the Twitter post that he made, and that Twitter post has definitely gone hobby viral. It had like a collectibles group. It had a really impressive amount of engagement. Where is it? Here it is. All right. 2,630 likes, 660 retweets, and 279 quote tweets.
Damn.
For the origin of this. There is something incredibly fishy going on with Backyard Breaks pulling multiple product hits out of Panini's top products. And then
he tagged me too.
The deep dive. And then
did you see?
I did find this graphic a little bit amusing. Basically, it's like showing some of their big hits. Come on, really? We're going with the Justin Fields.
Do you listen to? So you might want to cover your ears, Bears fans. You included. Do you listen to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show?
Fantasy? I don't think so.
They have like this ongoing bit week to week that they check up on. Who has more passing yards this week, the Bears or Navy? Because Navy is like well known that they like never throw the ball. They're like they run like 60 times a game.
Yeah, it's well. Look, you didn't watch that game, did you?
God no, I had no reception. Thank God.
Yeah, you averted a disaster.
Did Bears ever score a touchdown?
I think they did. I think because I think they lost like 13 or 12-7. So they got
12-7.
Oh, it was a horrible game.
Those 4 field goals by the Commanders.
No, they. Oh fuck! I tried to block. I tried to block.
They tried to go for 2 and they missed it.
So the score was in fact 12-7. But for some reason, they went for 2. So it must have had 2 field goals and a touchdown. And then they went for 2, and of course, they didn't get it.
Dude, Someone tweeted that in the last, it was like at a certain point of that game, but it was like in the last 45 drives of Thursday Night Football, we've had one touchdown.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, last week's game was brutal too.
Last week's game had 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's brutal. That was like the worst matchup. I mean, what a terrible game.
Justin Fields was 14 of 27 for 190 yards, which might sound bad, but 190 yards is high. But
he tripled his season output.
Yeah, but Carson Wentz, not to be outdone, put up a 12 of 22 for 99 yards.
Oh, what? He didn't even throw for 100 yards.
12 of
Remember
22 for 99 yards.
Remember after week 2 when he was like fantasy's number 2 quarterback? That didn't last long.
No, it didn't.
Are they purposely choosing bad games for Thursday night because it's on Amazon?
Well, the whole point of Thursday Night Football is that every team gets a chance to be on there. So it showcases every team in the NFL. So you're going to get some good, some bad. It just depends on what team is that week because every team gets a shot.
Fair. All right, let's try and get to a few more questions.
Unless the NFL is rigging it, saying, don't be good for Thursday Night Football.
You want to hear the biggest travesty of the season?
Yeah.
The Chiefs and the Bills are playing in just like the afternoon slot. They're not playing Sunday Night Football or Monday night. What the fuck? What a miss. That's got to be the Sunday night game.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's going to be the Cowboys and Giants, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of them. And then I think that's the Sunday night game and the Monday night game.
That's what I'm saying. You can already tell.
Yeah.
They love putting the freaking Cowboys on every Sunday night, no matter what. Chiefs and the Bills, that's the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah, and it's the 2 best quarterbacks, 2 best teams, like
The rematch.
yeah, totally. Who do you like in the Cowboys-Eagles game?
Oh, Cowboys-Eagles, sorry. I thought it was Cowboys-Giants.
No, Cowboys-Eagles.
Cowboys-Eagles? Low-key, Micah Parsons is the best player in the NFL.
Woo! Okay. All right, so
He's not a quarterback.
do you like the Cowboys? You like the Cowboys, then I take it.
I don't know, man. The Eagles are good. Cardinals suck, and we almost beat them. That's why I'm like, Cowboys might be pretty good. I just think Micah Parsons is so effing good that he's just like wrecking teams' offensive game plans by himself. Like he's just completely wrecking everything you want to do.
Yeah, their defense is really tough. Really, really tough. All right. B&B's, we got quite a few questions on shows this week. B&B says, please discuss how card shows should work together instead of against each other. What do you think about shows?
Like scheduling wise?
I'm not sure. People are feeling nervous about shows. What do you think about like the show culture this year?
Nervous how? What do you mean? Like there's too many?
Yeah, too many, and like people like not showing up to them. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I thought.
So I've heard some things like from multiple people of like traffic is down at shows, but my response to that is there are more shows happening on the same weekend, so traffic at one might seem down from like last year, but if you took traffic from both shows that are larger than just regional shows happening on different coasts, I bet traffic, like population-wise, would be up compared to the one from last year.
What do you say about that?
I thought the take last, like, few months ago was that show attendance was crazy even though the market was down. Now we're saying the show attendance is down.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what
That was the whole thing. It was like people were going nuts at these shows even though the market was down. Like National was crazy. We had all these shows. I mean, I think Christina's right. We just have so many shows. How can you expect the average amount of people at each show to go up if the number of shows, goes up?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's like, what do you want? Do you want Justin Jefferson with a higher receiving yards per catch, or do you want more volume? Which do you want?
That's a good point. I suppose I want the guy who's quality and quantity, or the show that's both. So
Right.
I want the Cooper Cup of the shows. The Super Bowl MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Triple Crown. I guess that's the guy I want. And that's the show that I want too. And I don't think any show is delivering that right now. I think you have some shows that are B2B focused, like The Summit or Mint Collective. And then you have some shows that are highly transactional and dealer focused and don't have a corporate presence. I don't know if you have a show that's got it all. I don't know if you want it either. Shows are the boon right now of the business. Like when people are looking for ways to make money in the hobby right now, shows is a way to do it. You've got a lot of demand for dealers who want to set up tables. You've got people who ostensibly are going to come through and pay a nominal fee to get in. I think that's part of the reason why shows are both like showing up more and more frequently right now, but also that's the reason why shows are feeling diluted. It's because like it's almost becoming too much of a business. Like, hey, how can we monetize this show? And it's not, that's not traditionally where shows were. But there are good shows out there. Dallas, Burbank, National, like Preston says, there are some good shows out there.
The people in the chat are also commenting on something I was going to highlight is that, and I'm hearing this from a lot of people too, is that, a lot of people are just trying to sell and people are nervous to buy. So it's kind of making the show feel like it's not active and it feels like there's less people because there's just less action. Everyone's trying to sell to each other and less people are buying, but I don't know. I haven't had enough to say for sure.
Yeah. What was the last show that we went to?
We went to Dallas on a Friday afternoon.
Dallas.
The problem with that one was like it had like I think that Leo said it had the most tables it's ever had. But like some of the dealers were saying that, and this is only Friday afternoon, that traffic was down. So I don't know how it went for the rest of the weekend. But another dealer told me that Nashville was having a huge show that same weekend, and he had to make the decision of go to Dallas or go to Nashville. So like I think that's part of the problem. Like I said.
Yeah.
I mean, I think also part of the problem is that people at shows have price tags or no price tags on their cards that make you think that they're living in the boom of 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you went to a Phoenix show recently, right? Like maybe a month or two ago?
My takeaway was that everything was way overpriced. Like it wasn't even reasonable.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even, it was such a high number on a lot of stuff that it wasn't even worth me trying to negotiate.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel fatigue from that. And it's just, there's the shows, it's an investment to go to a show. If it's local to you, it's an investment of time. But if it's not local to you, like we just went to the Industry Summit, which is not a show, but it's like a B2B conference.
There's a show aspect to that.
There's a show aspect. It's an investment, like you want to, there's a presumption that if you go to a show, you're going to get your money's worth out of it.
Well, also, people traveling for shows are taking a lot of money out of their card budget to travel, and that money's going to airlines, restaurants, hotels that would, if they were at home, go to just straight up cards.
All right, so next question here, one more on shows. Drake's PC wants an Industry Summit recap. Very low-key show. It's nice to see the people from the industry, but it was just quiet, it was professional. Nothing too much to write home about, I would say.
Chris was on a panel.
You were on a panel.
I was.
I was a fill-in. I was not supposed to be on the panel. You were scheduled to be on a panel. On Catch says plane tickets are ridiculous right now. Yeah. Is big air hurting the hobby? Maybe. There's a few more questions that we can maybe squeeze in here. Nice looking cardboard says, are pickleball teams the new pump?
I still don't even know what pickleball is. Isn't it like small tennis?
I was hoping somebody would be able to explain what
I think it's like small tennis.
Where were we that someone was like, and they put in new pickleball courts?
It's like a big thing.
Okay, small tennis. That makes sense. No, I know like Dirk Nowitzki is involved in pickleball.
LeBron owns a pickleball team now, apparently. Or something.
Yeah.
It's small tennis.
For people who don't want to actually run around the court.
That's exactly what it is. It's like lazy tennis.
Wow, that's hilarious. It's somewhere in between ping pong and tennis.
Right, yeah, you're like, doesn't small tennis exist? It does. It's called table tennis.
Medium tennis.
Yeah, it's medium tennis.
Wow.
This is like fancy Zoom. It's like medium tennis.
Okay, all right.
So if you want to be more active than ping pong, but you don't actually want to break a sweat like tennis.
If we start seeing some of the influencers in the space start talking about pickleball cards, then we know it's...
We're verging onto it. Everything starts as a joke. And then before you know it, somebody...
I think we should start a campaign for Alan and Ginter cards this year to have a trash can.
As like a card, the trash can?
Yeah, like they already had Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
Do they put true
the egg.
in the product?
The egg. The next egg card is the trash
They
can
had
card.
egg, like they should now do a trash can.
Yeah, the egg. Yeah, the egg card. All right. All right. Joshua's cards says, which is the best parallel and why is it cracked ice?
Oh, man, I love cracked ice. Actually, it's gold vinyl. Am I right?
You have been on that gold vinyl train.
Actually, it's Nebula, and am I right?
Nebula.
Nebula. All right. What's your vote? Is yours gold?
No,
Black.
black. Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. You got to pick one, black or black finite. You can't pick them both.
Look, even though black like is the basketball one, I think the black finite looks better.
Is there really no gold vinyl in basketball?
Nope, you have black gold. Black gold out of 5. Yeah, dude, basketball got screwed. Panini like does little screw jobs to basketball in many ways.
What would the hobby say? What would be the consensus from the hobby if they just this year just switched out black gold for gold vinyl?
There'd be a few people pissed because a few people have planted a black gold flag.
Lineage. Yeah.
But most people would prefer it.
Yeah, for sure.
So why don't they just do it?
It looks better.
Yeah, the Prism gold vinyls are sick. I think gold vinyl should be out of 1. That's why I think the optic is the granddaddy of them all, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the superfractor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like the Prism Gold vinyl, absolutely, but I've always thought that the optic gold vinyl that's the one. Okay.
The answer is black. We got black finite, we got Nebula, and we got gold vinyl. No gold vote. Wow.
Nah, gold 10, it's too many.
Too many. Jeez, that's where we're at.
Well, no, because someone made a post on Twitter where it was like, I don't remember who it was, but some rookie had over 1,000 one-of-ones.
Mac Jones.
Yes, I think it was Mac Jones. And like at that point, one-of-ones aren't rare. And like if people want to say like, oh well, at least with 10, like you're in a club with other people of 10. But with 1,000 fucking one-of-ones, you're in a club, a very large club with people who own one-of-ones.
Yeah, the thing is though, is that that comparison needs to be broken down. So a significant chunk of that is printing plates, with
4 for each card.
Are those? I don't look at those as being the same as a one-of-one card. And then the vast majority of the non-printing plate one-of-ones are things like inserts. Like Prism rookies will have maybe 2 or 3 inserts versus the 1 base card. So yeah, you have.
Yeah, but Prism doesn't have one base card, 1/1. They have 3.
What sport are you talking about?
Basketball.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about football.
Oh.
And football has only one of one. Another
Doesn't
thing.
like Spectra have like 6 1-on-1s? Like some of these other brands have like a ton of 1-on-1s.
Yeah, but yeah, like the point though is that if Prism Basketball has like 3 1/1s for the base card, like there are even more inserts. And maybe not in Prism they have 3 1/1s for the inserts, but in lots of other products like Threads or something like that, which they don't make anymore. But most of these 1/1s are of inserts that are not really sought after in the first place, and they're printing things. Yeah. Like the true base 1/1s of the good products, there's not many.
Yeah, I think those cards are protected, like short-term and long-term, just because we all know what the 101s that we're talking about is when we're saying like these are the true 101s. We all know, like we all have a consensus on the NT Shield, the Black Prism, even like the Optic Gold Vinyl, maybe the Select Black, the base. Like there's 1,000, but like we're really talking about like 6 or 7.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Gold Prism can fit into that. There's more printing plate 101s of Mac Jones than there are true Gold Prism rookies.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So that's why that number that Christina brought up is a little bit misleading.
I think the 10 is. You're being facetious, right? Like 10 is low. That's so low.
Yeah, especially if it's the true gold from.
What did you post about the Luka one today? It's the first one you've seen sell in a year and a half. Like that's real data right there.
Yeah, it is. And I was sad to see that one move. That one was Coleman's.
He sold it?
He sold it to Woot 72, and I think he's called Rise Cards now. It used to be called the New Price.
Oh, the Price family is broken up.
The Price family has joined the Luka Gold Kingdom.
Wait, I thought Woot was selling everything. I thought that was the whole we were all panicking because but he's buying now.
I don't know. I have no special knowledge.
You have knowledge that he bought a card.
Yeah, so does everybody, though, you know. I do know that. Yeah. And, you know what, congrats to Coleman for selling the card, but, you know, also, peace out. No longer.
Congrats to Coleman. He doesn't have that card anymore.
I know.
I think we should remove him from the league.
I think we should, too. Maybe it's time to bring in the Price family and move out of Coleman.
I mean, calm down. Easy there, buddy. Did they submit that sale?
Like, him and Lamim are always teasing me about the neon green that I can't find for Kleba.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What were you saying, Josh?
Did they submit that sale?
No. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked. No, they didn't. No. It may have been like a partial trade, too. I wouldn't be totally surprised if it was like a mix.
For like $1 million?
I don't think that was anywhere near the price for that card. But
yeah, tell Josh it was $2 billion.
To be. To be or not to be?
All right, we kind of just touched on this. Here, we'll just get to like 1 or 2 more. No Shimmer says, why is the green out of 5 for most products less desirable than the gold out of 10?
Ooh.
Christina's like, this question is just teasing.
Yeah, so there's for most products, like if we're talking about Prism for basketball, you have the green Shimmer out of 5, then you have the neon green Fast Break out of 5. And I think at that point, it's just like the green is actually out of 10. It's just different hollows on the 10 on the green. And I think that it dives back into like our primate brain of like gold equals money, gold shiny, beautiful, and then like anthropologically speaking, where's my favorite archaeologist? Yeah, and then as Josh puts, like to human brains, gold just looks nicer.
Wow.
You like the optic greens out of 5?
I like that they're out of 5. And like I like that it's just like a true solid color green. But
yeah.
I don't know. I never liked that the PMG green is the rarest. I think it's a beautiful card, but like the red and green colors, like I feel like those have properly been replaced by like gold and like black finites and gold vinyls and superfractors. So I'm just not a huge fan. I think the colors are really cool to be like intermediate rareness, you know, but
Isn't the true green like just like a regular kind of retail color?
yeah, it is. It's not in Prism. Yeah, it's not even numbered.
Like it's kind of a bastardized color. It's not really consistent with a specific like rare 5, right?
Correct. Although they were
Like the
they were
solid green?
yeah, they were very short printed in 2012 Prism.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I think consistency matters with this stuff, man.
It does. It definitely does. Carbon says, "What would you rather drive? A green Rolls Royce or a gold Rolls Royce?"
Or an orange.
Orange. I pick orange. Josh wants,
Oh, that's funny. You would take it.
Or a gray Honda Civic.
I would take the orange 2007 Honda Element that has had its catalytic converter stolen twice now in Dallas.
That's an 07?
Yep.
It is an 07.
My car's an 07. We both have 07 Hondas.
Yeah.
Hey, those are good cars.
Let's go.
I'm taking the green Rolls Royce, by the way.
You're like, nobody asked me, but
Yeah, I'm going here. I think the gold is a little too flashy. I'd rather
too flashy.
too flashy.
Aren't you already worried about being too flashy driving a Rolls Royce?
Yeah, I wouldn't drive a Rolls Royce either. What?
Yeah, the Rolls Royce is flashy enough no matter what color.
Correct.
Yeah, you're like, I want the Rolls Royce, but I don't want to be too flashy with my Rolls Royce, so I'm just going to get like a
Hey,
beige
you
one.
guys are fighting the hypo. Like,
I always
don't
fight
fight
the
the
hypo.
hypo. You were at, it's just a simple question. You only have two choices: green or gold Rolls Royce. And I say green because it's a little less flash.
What if it's like an emerald green? Then you're just going to look silly.
I would take the green because it's more fun than the gold, but if I had a choice, I would just wrap it in orange.
I don't think you guys are realizing what a all gold car looks like.
It sounds fucking dope. Show me.
Oh my god, the green looks pretty.
It looks like leading off the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, yeah, have fun with that, Chris. You dingo.
That works.
Wait, show the gold one.
Yeah, show the gold one.
There.
Oh wait, show the interior down.
Oh, that's so bad.
It looks like, what's that Jim Carrey movie where it's the mask?
Matt,
All right, hold on. Let me get the gold one now.
you didn't know what green you were signing up for, did you?
Well, nobody said in a green interior. All right, here's the gold.
This looks like something Flavor Flav would drive.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's the one for me.
I'm good on that.
You know who would drive that?
Who?
Cooper Cup. Only the best for the best.
Oh, yeah.
That just screams Triple Crown.
I'm sticking with the green.
That screams waste of money.
Yeah, that screams like you need to get a better place. You need to donate your money. That's what you need to do.
Donald Trump would drive that one, my friends.
Take that money and buy a car.
Yeah.
There you go again. Just, hey, the question was so simple. Okay.
Well, this is what the people love about the show. We spend 30 seconds talking about who's the best draft pick from 2021, and we spend 20 minutes talking about
Green or gold Rolls Royce?
Green.
Yes. Gold cut, exactly, Joe.
And fighting the hypo. People like fighting the hypo as well.
All right. There was a decent number of questions that we didn't get to this week. Brax ball cards. Did you see this? I shared his comment again. It's just like a big wall.
Oh, well, it was like a joke, right? No, there was one that was like, he was talking about stock terms, and I was like, what the heck is this?
If that's not a joke, this hobby is about to collapse. That's what I'll say about that.
Like, I read a couple sentences like reverse.
Like, all right,
There's so many-
all right, we'll read the first sentence.
All right.
There's been a lot of talk within the hobby investment community about transitional mount drip investing and how it relates to maximum portfolio diversification.
I'm out. You gotta be at drip.
Within a limited time horizon versus an
I'm still in this.
time horizon.
I'm still in this. Keep going.
Laughable, right? I mean, if you're proxying your alpha capital for beta purposes, you're limiting yourself to delta column profits adjacent (parentheses not parallel) to the justification matrix leveraged by default mass itemization lanes. I mean, we're talking about a serious discrepancy and, frankly, inequality between the volatility troughs between minus 0.106 and plus 0.1401. We're only halfway.
Facts. Amen. Preach.
So,
I mean, he couldn't have nailed it any better. I don't,
he does make some good points about the volatility troughs.
Volatility troughs.
I've read 5 lines and there's 7 lines left.
I know. He's sent something similar a few weeks ago. A lot of
Someone commented and they said, "Whatever you're drinking, I want some of that."
Yes, they did. He's. I don't think we're ready for those takes yet. All right. It's been a good 2.5 hour comeback. It was so nice to have the crossover back. When you miss a week of it, God, it feels like it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It just it just felt like there was a void in my hobby content land where it was nice to have the crossover back. Also, we probably could have done the crossover last week.
Yeah.
Because we got back and I need like an hour to put together the questions, and we got back with like an hour to go.
We got
I think I even texted you. I was like, "I'm ready."
Yeah, you were like at midnight. You were like, "Well, should we go live?"
Yeah, we got back at like 10:15.
Yeah.
It literally took us like 3 minutes to leave our seats to get to our apartment.
Yeah. So as long as the game starts at 7, we should be fine. Yeah. All right.
Can you send me a calendar invite for December 3rd?
Can you send that, please?
And also book my plane tickets. That's a joke. Kind of.
I looked at the 2 surrounding games are away games, unfortunately. So it's really just that Phoenix game. That's the only home game. And
Well, that night doesn't work. We can pick a game with like a opposing team we both want to watch.
well, that's just what I was thinking was that obviously that'll be a fun game to go to, but it would have been even better if there was 2 or 3.
Lakers would be fun too. Watching LeBron.
Yes, dude. I know LeBron comes on Christmas Day, and he's not going to be probably that close to breaking the record yet. He's supposed to break it in March. But man, wouldn't that be amazing to even have a chance to be in the stands when that record gets broken? I was hoping, but I was just trying to do the math. He would have to average 40 points a game for it to happen. December.
Dude, that's happening.
Okay, all right. I don't know about that, but let's see. I wonder if they host the Lakers any other.
You know how people always say, they're always like, "Man, if player X only cared about scoring, he could easily average 50 points a game." Yeah, when has that ever been a reality? When would you ever do that?
Right.
I think Allen Iverson tried it and it didn't work.
No, it's tough to do because.
Why would you do it? It's to the detriment of winning.
Yep. Which is the point of the game. Oh, so they host Los Angeles February 26th, the Lakers. They host the Lakers February 26th.
You know what I'm hearing?
What are you?
You know what I'm thinking?
Oh, but isn't the Mint around that time?
No, yeah, the Mint is at the end of March.
Oh, okay.
And it works out perfectly, that there are no home games during the time that we would have to travel and be in Vegas for.
What are you hearing, Josh?
Well, I'm hearing is send me a calendar invite for December 3rd and February 26th.
Let's go. And then, the February.
It's December 5th, but.
December 5th.
5th.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, December 5th. the 26th game is surrounded by a San Antonio game, which hey, that 0-82 bet may still come on.
It might still be intact. Dude, you know what I was thinking today? Christina should hedge by betting $1,000 on the under for the Spurs. Their over-under is 22.5. There's no way.
True.
Like, just take the under on that shit. There's no way they hit that.
And then the game on the other side is Indiana. So those are two.
Oh my god. Brutal.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, the bright side of that is the Mavs are going to be winning at least 2 of those 3 games.
Oh, fuck. You know what? They do have one more game against Phoenix. I don't know why this didn't come up earlier.
You know, I like options.
They host Phoenix on March 5th as well.
Oh, you know what I hear? You know my new idea?
I do know what that idea is. So those 2 games are pretty close together. Those games are, 9 days apart? The Phoenix.
Yeah, but Jessica's birthday is on February 28th.
Oh, okay.
Well, Dallas isn't that far. I'm sure it's a quick flight, right?
What would Jessica like more than to go to a Mavericks game for her birthday?
I was going to say, hey, grandparents, what are you guys doing for these 6 days?
All right, well, there you go. Put that on the...
She was just telling me, you know what I want to do for my birthday this year? I want to go to 2 away games for the Mavericks.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today's show. We did have a bunch of questions we didn't get to, which is unfortunate, but we're easing back into this thing, all right? Took a week off, came back with over 2.5 hours of content for you guys.
Rusty.
We are rusty, but we'll be bringing it back. So, all right, titling purposes of the show, I wrote down rollover budget.
Oh, I like that. Just do rollover.
Rollover, even better. Yeah, roll.
We got to work on our basketball takes because you said the season starts Thursday?
Tuesday.
We got to start working on our basketball takes because I'm still in football mode. You guys are throwing me off here with this basketball stuff.
I know. I'm a little rusty on basketball as well, but what can you learn from the preseason? The preseason is just full of traps.
I don't watch it. I don't want to. No, nothing. People are like the Kings are the champions now because of the preseason. It's like, no.
No. Like somebody posed the question. Our dear friend Nick posed the question, not Stiff Arm Wax, but Uliano. He said, should we be worried that the Bucks are 0-5 in the preseason?
No.
The Bucks are going to be an absolute menace this season. Dude, Giannis is like in his true prime. He's got to have a chip on his shoulder from last year. He's going to be an MVP candidate. The only question is, do the Bucks care enough about the regular season? That's the only question.
They added. Who did the Bucks add?
I don't know.
They added somebody. I was listening today.
I don't know who.
The Simmons and those guys were pissed that they still have Grayson Allen. It's like a main contributor. They're like, they need to upgrade. Oh, they added the Jazz guy, Ingles.
That's a nice pickup. If he's still.
He's not going to be playing for a while, but he'll be there second half of the season.
That's a nice pickup if he's. I don't know. He's just on the wrong side of 35, I think.
Who's going to be worse, the Jazz or the Spurs?
Spurs. Dude, the Jazz have a few players who like are fringe all-stars. Like if Colin Sexton has a big season, if Lauri Markkanen has a big season, you know, Mike Conley is not the player he once was, but he's still extremely good. Jordan Clarkson, dude, what if Jordan Clarkson averages 25 points a game as a starter? Like, they've got some players.
The Spurs have Keldon Johnson, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. The Spurs, somebody said their best player might be Jakob Poeltl.
Oh, my God. I mean, like, PER, yes.
PER.
Wasn't he, like, pretty high last year in the VORP and stuff?
Yes, he is high on the PER. But, yeah, the Spurs, I think until it's off the table, 0-82 is a possibility.
Dude, I get the tank for Victor. I get it. But like, even if you have the worst record in the NBA, you still have like a 27% chance, 28, whatever it is, right? Like, it's still not even.
I think it's 14.
Dude, yeah. So like, is it really worth it to be that bad? It's okay to be bad, and like you're getting a lottery top 5, whatever. But like, is it worth it to be that bad?
No.
No.
No, it's not. Plus, like, Pop needs to get at least 15 wins to keep padding that all-time wins record.
That dude needs to retire, man. This is gonna be ugly.
Yeah, but look, when those Spurs are 0-20, you're gonna be sweating a little bit.
62 games. I'm not gonna be. Dude, their over/under is 22.5. They're gonna get some wins.
Yeah, they'll probably.
They're gonna play the.
Actually, somebody texted me saying they're gonna bet the Spurs to win opening night against the Hornets. So.
Dude, I was about to say they're gonna play the Hornets early in the season. LaMelo Ball's gonna sit. They're gonna be at home and they're gonna win.
Yeah, they might actually be 1-0.
They might be the best team in the NBA after one game.
All right. That's gonna do it for this week's show. See you guys next week.
We're reaching the top.
A lot has changed since Card Ladder began. We started with 500 cards in our database, and now we have over 3 million cards and over 30 million sales.
For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
With Card Ladder's sales history feature, we have virtually every card in our system. If the card you are looking for ever sold on one of these platforms, you can find it using Card Ladder's sales history, and you can add a card to your collection with just one click.
My time, none of you people can tell me to stop.
Plus, every card, no matter the last time it's sold, has an estimated value that we calculated using our state-of-the-art player indexes. Unlike other apps, when you see Card Ladder's verified checkmark, that means a researcher personally vetted each and every sale.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
We know what you want, because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors.
Know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Join the innovators, not the imitators. Card Ladder 2.0, constantly innovating. Try it for free. See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data.
We know what it takes to be reaching the top.
Card Ladder 2.0.